All of our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Dreams come true without that possibility. Natural will not incite us to have dreams or to have them, by the way. Dream as if to say you will live forever. Live as if to say you will die today. Let us make our future now and let us make our dreams tomorrow's reality. In the year 1983, I want to remind you, Liberians, about the prophecy made by the late Mother Ducle when she said, and I quote, "Though will be overthrown and there will be a bloodshed, a tyrannical leader will come from the north, but will be booted out. There will be bloodshed and massive destruction again, more than the first one. A woman will succeed him. There will be a hardship during her regime. After all, a leader. After all, a leader. After all, a leader will emerge from the south. He will be overlooked and condemned, but will be loved by the ordinary people. A woman will succeed him. There will be a hardship during her regime. After all, a leader will emerge from the south. He will be overlooked and condemned, but will be loved by the ordinary people. It is under him. You need to listen to this, fellow Liberians. It is under him that the country will prosper. People will wonder whether there has ever been a civil war in Liberia. The generation that will witness his presidency will prosper. They will enjoy the land. It will be God's choice. And after him, there will be no more war in Liberia. Liberia will forever be prosperous. I may not be around to see whatsoever, but God has told me, and his words never fail. The late Mother Ducle in 1983, Mila January 3rd, 1983, the prophecy about George Weah we have today as president of this country. Good evening and welcome. Good evening to the great people of this great country called Liberia. Good evening to all the great people, all the great sons, mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, all the good people of this good country called Liberia. Good evening to each and every one of you, and welcome to the program. Issues of today on Voice of Liberia 104.1. My name is Sekou. I'm Sekou Sharif Inshallah with the blessing of my parents. I'm going to be here up to 9 o'clock tonight on the show. His Excellency President George Weah is making rounds in some parts of Montserrat County. He's engaging with citizens and possible voters to see reason to re-elect him come October 10th, 2023. On the show today at 6:05, we ran against it. We will join shortly our international correspondents to fill us in with news from across the world. What are the issues making news around the world? At 6:30 tonight, we will look at training issues that will run us up to 7 o'clock, giving you the total issues we've got on the plate for today's discussion on the program issues of today. Our first batch of girls will join us at 7 to discuss issues surrounding the re-election of President George Weah. The group calling itself National Reform Youth of CDC will be represented by its chairlady, Olive Johnson, that's Olive Josephine Robertson, and Victor McBancock, Vice Chair for Administration. The both of them will join us here tonight on the show As campaign continues in the country, these young people think that the re-election of President Weah will do more good for the country. Most importantly, the young generation of Liberia. They will join us to dig deep into the workings of the Weah-led administration with main focus on the youth in Liberia. Following that issue here on the radio, and following said conversation, we will be joined by Montserrat County District Number 4 candidate, Madam Jemama Wolokali. You know, whenever I call this name, it reminds me about the days of her being in government. Neighbor Oma, eh? Neighbor Oma. I'm a rehene Oma, yeah. She would share with us her vision for District Number 4 in Montserrat County and gave us reasons why she should be elected as the district representative at 8 o'clock, running us up to 9 o'clock on the show. My name is Sekou Sharif. Inshallah, with the blessing of my parents, I will be up to 9 o'clock tonight on the show. You don't want to miss today's edition of the show issues of today on Voice of Liberia. Too many things to talk about. What's happening? What are the trending issues in the country? We're going to take a short break to go to our international correspondents to talk to them on the show tonight. When we come back from the international desk, now we rumble into local politics in Liberia. Oh, yes, the campaign is on. And so we want to say thank you to each and every one of you, our listeners, for joining us tonight on the show. I want to say kudos. I want to use this time to say good evening to His Excellency President George Weah, President of the Republic of Liberia, the beloved President of this country, the great President of this great nation, and great people. I want to say, Mr. President, good evening. And I want to say good evening to all the ministers, directors, those of the people in government. Good evening to you, Finda Bondo. Um, and you are affectionately called Rescue Mother. I want to say good evening to you. I want to say good evening to the mayor of the city of Monrovia, Jefferson Tamakoji. I want to say good evening to you. I want to say good evening to the former Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, Nathaniel Falomagil. I want to say good evening to you. And I want to say good evening to all the good people of this great country. And I want to say good evening to you, Bwakat Sharif, head of Boni Enterprise. All the great people of this country, I want to say good evening. And we are again tonight. Yes. I want to say good evening to Her Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia. I want to say good evening to you. And I want to extend my greetings to all the good ministers, directors, officials of government that are doing extremely well. I want to say good evening to you and welcome to the show. And as we move ahead with the campaign process in Liberia, I want to remind each and every one of you that we need to maintain the peace of our country, Liberia. You know, it is very important to maintain the peace of our country. And I want to also say good evening to um, the chairman of CDC, my own good friend and brother, Molba Molu. I want to say good evening to Musa Konen. I want to say good evening to all the great people within CDC and the government. They're doing extremely well. I'm not talking about the VC ones. Let's go to the international decks. When we come back, we'll continue our greetings to our good friends And so they can know that we have them at heart and we're following the activities here and we'll continue to do. My name is Sekou Sharif. We're going to go now to our international desk to talk to our international correspondents. The very first place we're going to have a stop is Nigeria, where we'll talk to Naomi Kumbenda, where she's going to fill us in with some important developments coming from Nigeria on the program tonight. Issues of today on Voice of Liberia 104.1. Naomi joins us from Nigeria on the program, and she covers the entire country about news related issues, happenings in Nigeria, and we are on top of the game from Nigeria. So we're gonna make this stop in Nigeria tonight to know what's happening in Nigeria, as we want to know some of the activities taking place in the country, even though we're getting some other reports coming from the country that the 14th emirate of Kano State in the northwestern region of Nigeria, Muhammadu Sansi, has met with the coup leaders in Niger Republic after the junta aborted a meeting with representatives of African Union, AU for short, Economic Community of West Africa States, ECOWAS for short, and the top U.S. diplomat. Naomi will tell us and give us an insight of this development coming from Nigeria, how we can better get a clear understanding about this, and how did it go in terms of meeting those of the people that carried out the coup in Niger Republic. There, it is something that is getting much more rampant in the country. Naomi joins us now on the line. Naomi, good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight on the show.
Good evening, Tiku. Thank you for having me.
I'm told the 14th emirate of Kano State in the northwestern region of Nigeria, Muhammadu Sansi, has met with the coup leaders in Niger Republic after the junta aborted a meeting with representatives of African Union, AU for short, Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS for short, and a top U.S. diplomat. Naomi, bring us to speed with this development. How did it happen?
Okay, Tiku, you are aware that the junta has lost ECOWAS deadline, which was scheduled for 1 week, and it has elapsed. And also, a top politician and top ambassador from the U.S., which came to address the military junta, they also blocked, they refused to give him the audience, as well as Nigeria, which, as you know, the president is the leader of ECOWAS, and he has been championing the plans to send military there. That should be the last option. So uh, Sanusi happens to be a Muslim, and he's like a Khalifa in the northwest region of Nigeria. So he decided, of course, with the permission of the president, to go there and get to talk with the military junta. And coincidentally, they gave him the audience because he was there with the emir, who is also the Muslim leader in that area of the biggest community there, and they gave him the audience, and he has been talking with them to see reasons why there should be restoration of democratically elected governance. So far, reports that reached us in the morning, afternoon today, was that he was able to meet the coup process, and they gave him the audience, and they said they were going to look at it and also have a meeting with him today in the evening. But since so far, we have not gotten any report from Niger Republic yet.
So, after the 7-day ultimatum that the regional bloc issued for the reinstatement of President Mohamed Bazoum elapsed, what is the next move from ECOWAS?
Um, okay, you see, ECOWAS had made a mistake. People are saying it is a mistake, but we do not know how true that is. However, they have come together again to have another meeting, which was supposed to be tomorrow in Nigeria, to see how they could come back But we were told that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led ECOWAS has imposed more sanctions on the Niger junta. And the sanctions they say are surrounding around the Central Bank of Nigeria. So because Niger is very close to Nigeria, and we had quite many transactions talking about power, energy, and even money, and the rail lines are connected from Nigeria to Niger, which was just concluded by the last administration. So they say that the sanctions have also been increased today, which passed through the Central Bank of Nigeria. But the spokesman of the president didn't go to details to tell us exactly what these sanctions are, however, that it is said that there are more sanctions that have come from ECOWAS on the military junta.
Are Nigerians in support of these sanctions?
We have the Iowa Consultative Forum, which has called for the lifting of the sanctions against Niger Republic by President Muhammad Amin Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the ECOWAS community in West African states. So this this association is a group that handles or embodies all the northern states and what is bordering the Niger Republic, and they are screaming loud that these sanctions should be brought down so that they can consider maybe dialogue or something instead of going into what could become very terrible and could not be controlled. And Nigerians are generally complaining you don't have the power to infringe on the rights of the Nigerians because they are not complaining. They seem to be celebrating what the military has done. So what is ECOWAS really going there to do? And so these are many others are the reactions coming from Nigerians.
Thank you, Naomi Kombenda, on the line from Nigeria tonight on the show, telling us about some move being made by some other folks in terms of coup leaders in Niger Republic. We'll now go to Cameroon to talk to our Cameroonian correspondent, Alfonso Tibek, on the show tonight as to what we're getting from Cameroon tonight on the show. We get a report that thousands of people gathered at the Cemetery Stadium in the conflict hit southwest region of Cameroon to pay their last respects to the five government delegates who had been kidnapped, slain, and buried by separatists in that part of the country. Alfonso Tibek is voice of Liberia, Cameroon, and correspondent. He joins us on the line now. Alfonso, good evening. Thank you tonight for joining us.
Hello, Seko, good evening. Thanks for having me too.
Could you paint us a picture of today's funeral event in the country, Cameroon?
Yes, Sharif, this ceremony took place in Limber, in the southwest region of Cameroon. Thousands of people from different parts of Cameroon, children, men, and women, the old, the young, actually turned out for that event in their black outfits. It was indeed a sorrowful moment for these people to pay their last respect to these five government workers who, were killed since 2021, and their bodies were only exhumed over the weekend in the southwest region of Cameroon. We had government authorities that were present. We have the civil society. We have school children. We have the clergy who actually, offered prayer, in memory of the five delegates killed and buried by separatists, in the southwest part of Cameroon.
What do we know about the circumstances under which these persons were killed?
Well, Sharif, you know that there is a separatist conflict that's been going on now in the northwest in Cameroon for nearly 7 years. The minority part of Cameroon, want to secede from the Republic of Cameroon. And so there was a demonstration in 2016 that was met with a brutal force from government forces. Some, young Cameroonians were killed, and then others got angered and took up arms against the state. Since then, they declared independence symbolically for the Republic of Amazonia, and have been battling government forces with more than 6,000 persons killed already. So separatists within the past 6 years, some of them have been against the central government, those working for the central government. And so these workers were in the southwest region, a remote community, to actually demarcate an area for the construction of a dam, in Missouri Valley near Nigeria. So separatists who have that area as a hotspot actually kidnapped these five workers, and then they did not demand any ransom, but then they actually made an amateur video showing these government workers who they are keeping. Later on, we were told that one of them was killed, and then his body dumped by the roadside. So since then, the authorities have not got any information with regard to five others. But one of the separatists actually, demobilized, self-demobilized, and then told the authorities where these delegates were killed and buried. That is how, over the weekend, he led a delegation of government forces to the area where the bodies were exhumed, before being taken to the city in Libe for this funeral ceremony.
The issue about separatists killing peaceful citizens in Cameroon is something that the government should work on, most especially when it relates to some of the things happening in the country. Uh, what is it the central government is doing about this matter? Oh, okay. We lost our Cameroonian correspondent there. We're trying to see as whether we can have him back as to tell us more about what's coming from Cameroon on the program tonight. We're going to make efforts to go back to our Cameroonian correspondent on the show. Uh, Alfonso, I was asking you this issue about separatists doing things in the country, killing peaceful citizens, is something that has turned to be very rampant. What is the central government doing about this so as to have this to a point where these things will not continue to happen in the country?
Sharif, this war has been going on now for the past 6 years to 7 years.
Mm.
The authorities actually held what is described as a grand national dialogue in 2019 in a bid to look at the grievances of the Anglophone separatists. But no separatist leader attended this, dialogue because most of them, in fact, all of them, are based in the diaspora but have foot soldiers on the ground. Well, separatist demand is for the authorities to actually grant them independence, which is practically impossible because the authorities say that they cannot disintegrate Cameroon. So militarily, the government of Cameroon is investing heavily in the conflict here with armored cars, government soldiers deployed in their thousands to these English-speaking regions. Separatists are amongst the population, so it's a very difficult, conflict for the government to win militarily because it's some sort of a guerrilla warfare. So separatists, in a bid to actually fund their activities, turn to kidnapping politicians, wealthy business people, even students, and so on and so forth, in order to demand a ransom and fund their activities.
Thank you, Alfonso Tibet, for joining us tonight on the show. We want to appreciate you for that update from Cameroon on the show tonight. Uh, okay, so let's move on now. We come back to Liberia. Uh, let me go on. Let me go on to move on now to some other issues. Let me just let you know. Since the campaign was announced open, the president of the Republic of Liberia has been making some rounds in Monserrado County. Yesterday, he was in district number 8, district number 7, and I'm told today he was in district number 14. I don't know the other districts, but I can confirm district number 14 because I passed through and then, I saw some of the folks, and I think few seditions they called and they were asking whether were we not providing that coverage, particularly on our also broadcast equipment to, I mean, when the president when he visits some of the areas, but that cannot be discussed on the radio. We're making frantic efforts to have it done where we have Uh, Whenever some of the programs where you have the president will be live on the radio and all of that, because we support the re-election of His Excellency President George Weah. It is something we don't hide. It is nothing wrong for us to support the re-elections of President George Weah. Yes, we support it. And we call on you Liberians to see reasons to re-elect President George Weah so that he can continue to do his developmental issues in the country, impacting the lives of people, doing what he has to do for the country. Now, I want us to talk about some trending issues in the country. Um, since the announcement of campaign, and let me say this to the electorates, they would say it's better you be with the devil you know than the angel you've not seen. Because the devil let me say, I'm speaking simple Liberian English. The devil will be of great help because you already know that devil, but you don't know the angel you've not seen. Who knows that the angel will be something different? Now, I'm saying this to me, I've seen a sheer hypocrisy in our friends from the opposition. They don't see things bad when it is coming from the opposition. Meanwhile, seeing what the opposition will do, how they will threaten the peace of the country, how they will say some unfunded things, how they will go about saying all kinds of things in the country. They won't say anything about it. But the only time they think is something wrong when someone in the government cycle, he or she tries to give information out about the president or who they believe in, they take that issue to be a thing to say it is an undermining factor to the peace of our country. But not knowing that they're not doing themselves well. They themselves are even doing worse. There's something I don't like to talk, but I need to say a little. It is about the health condition of Ambassador Joseph Newman Buck. Before we go, I'm a Muslim and I'm religious tolerant. And I believe and allow and I think we should practice different religions in our country. If you're Muslim, you're Christian, you're Buddhist, or whatsoever, I think the space should be created to allow you to continue to watch it whatsoever you want to. I don't believe in bad moving people when it comes to health related issues. But there's something we need to say to our people in this country. There's something the people of this country they need to know. When you listen to coup issue, hey, they saw this country a coup attack, and then the AFL or the soldiers is taking over or whatsoever. The issue of Ambassador Boaka is a clear example of a clear coup issue in our country. Why is it I'm saying it? Some of you will not know. Ambassador Boaka health condition cannot even allow him to serve this country for 3 good years. I'm speaking in a context, even though he cannot win the election. But some of you don't know, Ambassador Boaka was being warned by medical practitioners about his health condition. Let me tell you, sometimes you want to blame the man, you want to say, oh, Ambassador Boaka is being into days, he doesn't want to. He's not doing these things by himself. You have a bunch of people that think that if Ambassador Boaka leaves the political scene now, their relevance will be buried. And so they think that Ambassador Boaka should continue to remain within the political arena to erase themselves at the detriment of Ambassador Boaka himself and the people that think they believe in the bunch of hustlers. If Ambassador Boaka could be my father or a relative to me, I won't be alive or sitting and allow what the folks in Unity Party they're doing to Ambassador Boaka. It is unjust, unfair. It is far for anything of what the folks are doing to Ambassador Boaka in Unity Party. They don't love him. They pretend because they want to use him. And they're using him though. Who does that? They value politics over their health. God has life. But the religious people would say, God said he will provide, he will protect you, but you need to protect yourself. You think God can see people doing bad to people? God can allow it to happen. So now because maybe God loves you and you think you will carelessly handle your issues, and you think because God loves you. This is with the case of Ambassador Boaka. We not praying for death, but every one of us will die. What you continue to allow yourself to be used just because of political issue? And like I did the other day, today again I will do. I want to call on you, Liberians. Voter politics. Let us pray for Ambassador Boaka. Ambassador Boaka is going through a lot. Health wise, is getting worse by the day. And he has putting his life on the line on a sense of where you don't have 100% assurity of it living for more than 1 or 2 years. Because the health itself is deteriorating on a daily basis because of the way in which he himself is handling his health issue. Even though he's been advised by health people, but he choose not to do it. I want us tonight, if you are a Muslim, I'm going to do this again. If you are a Christian, let us pray for Ambassador Boaka to recover. I don't want you calling me and telling me, oh, no. We're not justifying or whatsoever here. But what we want you to do is for you to call and let us add our voices together and pray for Ambassador Boaka to recover and so that he can know that he's been used. Yes, we're going to open the lines on 0770 907 907 0770. Please, if you call us, let us pray for Joseph Newman Boaka of the Unity Party, for God to give him long life to live and see the second term inauguration of President George Weah. 0770 are the numbers to join us tonight on the show and for the few minutes call and pray for Ambassador Joseph Newman Boaka. Good evening. Yeah, good evening. Okay, let me take another person here. Good evening. Hello, good evening. Okay, the person is not coming. Let me take another person. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Let's pray. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I want to know whether are you up?
Good evening. Let's hear you. What's your name? Call your name. Be civilized. Hello. Oh, too bad. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yes.
Yeah, uh, brother. The topic under discussion, you think is making any sense or what? We should be praying for your mother or your.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let me take this person here. Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Let's hear you.
Okay, I'm Donna S. I'm from Mamutown, Central Virginia.
Yes. Let's hear you. Go ahead.
Uh, we all, as we are aware, as we approach the upcoming presidential election, it is our prayer that Uncle Joseph Bala will live to see his defeat.
Thank you. This is what we need to pray for. Let us pray so that he can be alive and see the second inauguration of George Weah. Thank you, my brother. Good evening. Y'all can cost me. Y'all can do anything. Y'all can threaten. Y'all can do anything. I'll give you guys a chance. Good evening. Hello. This person. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Eric Mary Zulu. I'm calling from District Number 5, Precise Boulevard Junction.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I want to take this time to pray to ask the Almighty God, quality and staff, to
Mm-hmm.
pray for Joseph Human Boaka so that he can see the recover
Mm-hmm.
and see and witness and impact and take the second inauguration of George Mali. We are on the SKD School Complex.
Thank you very much. Let me go to this line here. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm Chidi, the what's it for?
Brother, go ahead. Let's pray for Joseph Newman Boaka.
Yeah, also in the prayer, we pray for ourselves. So I hope my
Oh, wait. Let me take this person. I'm not getting this guy. He's breaking. Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Let's hear you.
Yeah. Good evening, my Mr. Goshawi. I listen to the radio. You know, we're not listening to the radio from many what I know that so the we're not taking.
You'll
If
be
you're
that.
not by the so the woman who should be to be in a
No, no, don't do that. We need to pray for Joseph Newman Boaka.
yeah.
We want him to see the
The
re-inauguration
men
of
are
President
leader,
Weah.
the men are leader, we need to pray for him. And
Mhm.
see it, of course.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let
Yeah.
me take this person here. Hello.
hello.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, my name is Frank Emmanuel calling for District 14.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm praying for Joseph Niman Boaka for God to give him long life and prosperity. So he can be inaugurated in 2023 election at Kessel Boulevard.
Oh, he can be inaugurated at Kessel Boulevard, right? They bought more bad. They bought say Joseph Newman Boaka might be inaugurated at Kessel Boulevard. Yeah, Cleveland, let's hear you.
Idris has come back.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, but then I want to read a Fatiha for the children.
Go ahead. Let's hear you.
A Fatiha.
Mm.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
Amen.
I pray that the old man stay strong and see defeat.
Mhm.
I pray for that.
So that he can see the beloved president of this country be re-inaugurated. Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm Lloyd Johnson, and I join you for District Number 11, Quebec Community.
Mm-hmm.
Father, in the name of Jesus, I want you, please, may your grace fall upon Joseph Human Boaka. I beg you, Father, if even you want to take away his life, it should not be now. Let Joya be re-elected first before you can carry his life.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's pray for Joseph Newman Boaka. Good evening. Yeah, good evening. Go ahead. Let's hear you. Mm-hmm. And you don't ask me. Pray for Joseph Newman Okay, so we will pray for. You see how some of you people are very. We say let's pray for somebody. Say, pray for the other person dead. Hello,
Hello.
good evening,
Yes, Seku. I'm Jawa call from Single to be Pitafia.
Gerald. Let's pray for Ambassador Joseph Newman Boaka health. It's getting very bad by the minute.
Yeah, pray for Ambassador Joseph Yuma Boka and you win this election, you will defeat John Man. We are.
So you ain't thinking about your health, eh?
I pray for you. I
You.
wish you see them recovery.
So you want somebody that is unfit to be the president. Eh?
You will recall and
Okay,
defeat.
thank you very much. Thank you. Let's pray for his
Yeah, but
recovery.
then
That's good. Good evening.
yeah, you see how some of these opposition guys suffering from extreme madness. You're calling it insulting moral cause. You
Lead the people.
pray for your leader, insulting. What made you the guy so unserious and reckless? Out of these, they are
My brother,
direct
you know
opposition.
what,
They mean well for the country.
you know the
They
party
insulting
people.
moral cause. No praying. I already read my father. I don't want you to do that. I
Mm-hmm.
read my father for the old man. Then the other guy, they insulting moral. They are all empty-minded and they are big flop. A big flop.
Thank you very much. These people, when I start to bring some things out about Joe Walker,
Yeah,
you
good
hear
evening,
Joe
Sekou.
Walker. There you go. Good evening.
Good evening, Sekou.
Yeah, good evening. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm a top first super from Jersey.
Let's hear you.
I pray that Joe Parker will live. I pray that Joe Parker will be strong and that Joe Parker will be inaugurated comes January 2024 as president of this country. Thank you.
Let's take another person. Let's pray for Joseph Newman Walker. let's pray for Joseph Newman Walker. Yeah. Hello.
Hello,
Yes.
I'm John calling from Peace Island.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask you a question.
Don't ask. Do not ask and answer question
No,
program here.
I just want to ask you
No,
one
you're not
question.
asking.
You
You
first,
want to speak. You don't want to speak. I'll cut you off.
the question.
I will cut you off now because you can't understand. Simple instruction. You can't understand. Now the stupidity has taken over your heads. Eh? It has taken over your head. So you will be acting very crazy. I'm saying something very easy and simple. Let us pray for Joseph Newman Walker. Some of the things I have in my possession about Joseph Newman Walker, when I release them, some of you will cry for yourself. God thinks that old man is well. I don't want to talk about people who have issues here. I don't find pleasure in talking about people who have issues. But Joe Walker is sick. Do you know which one of the surgeries that man is supposed to go under? When a bypass the surgery, do you know what is happening to him now? Do you know what it means for you to have a short breath? That you don't breathe like a normal human being? Hold your nose for 1 minute and you tell me how you feel when you hold your nose. Let me be in simple English. When you hold your nose for 1 minute, you think say Liberia will have a state funeral? You think that what we here for? When people talk and they all call, you confuse people and you know what to say. You just call you be talking. I said simple thing. You pray for this man. You need to pray for Joe Parker. I challenge Joe Parker to run campaign in the entire country. But we're not rushing to hear WA again. You think that country belongs to the Bwakas people where we'll go have a state funeral when you have an energetic, strong George Weah is doing what he needs to do for the country? Then you think, say, you need to go the path of this old, weakening, sickening, and spineless old man. You can't, you can't sit there and sugarcoat it. Oh, it's like you want us to put the man's secret out now, right? Who say you pray for the man and you can be adding that to say why everything? Let me tell you, Joe Walker, anyone want to say 50-50? Now it's going to 60-40. It'll reach a time to be 70-30, 80-20, 90-10. And some of y'all be catching feelings. See the man say, no, all of that fooling the man. I want to give you wins and the two thing. You can sit down and say, oh, the man, blah, 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 blah. Hello,
Hey, Sekou, how you doing, my
go
brother?
ahead, let's hear you. Yes, some of you people are not good. You're very wicked. Why y'all
Yeah,
suffering the old man like this?
yeah, Sekou, this is John Sumo, and I call you from Caldwell.
John, go ahead, my brother.
Thank you. You know, Sekou, I pray that
right? When the broadcast people, and to make sure that he bury you in Korea. He will live long and bury you in Korea. I'm going to die before him. Thank you.
You feel it now? You see, you're not an intellectual. When you call, you talk, and you're on the line, but you're running away. Hello,
Doing this sickle.
good evening. Let's hear you.
This is Raymond Charlie. I call you from Barton this evening, sir.
Raymond, go ahead.
Yes, sickle. When I finish it, you pray for Baka and when
Go
Yeah,
ask.
President Segu.
Hello.
Yeah, President Segu. Don't mind these guys. Some of them are watching people close around here. Doing the vet, they want gain power. They watching people close around. They still watching your horse burning. They out of job. So they angry with you. Don't mind them, President Segu. I don't want to introduce somebody. Don't mind them, veteran. Yeah?
Okay.
Some of them, they are close. They're watching close. They're close. They can get a whole 2, 3 stuff to watch. The lack of job. They got no training ahead. So they are very narrow-minded.
Thank you. Thank you. This person. Hello. Good evening.
we,
Mm-hmm.
I'm still listening and I'm trying to hear.
Go ahead, my brother. Let's hear you.
You see, those people who are calling and even praying for Joseph Baka to recover and win George, yeah, those are people who concerned about his health. Before even they make a win George, yeah, you must first of all be concerned about his health.
Thank
But
you.
those who are forcing and say they were burying them, they were burying them, like those who force out refer to as my player. Did I even know about Joseph Baka health? Force out call them my player. So that will not join you waste your time on them. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let me take this person here. Hello.
Segu.
Good evening.
So I'm not ready to for me. Now you
Now listen to me. I won't say something to you, but anyway, let me take this person on. Hello. I wanted to ask you which of your family members contributed to this system. You not get rare. You get rare. You see how some of you people are very stupid. Yeah, you can get rare shit. Hello. You're not
Yeah,
get
hello.
rare. Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, my name is Melvin Tugbe. I call you from 72nd.
You're alive. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah,
Let me
I
guess.
want to pray for Joseph Human Baka so that he can recover.
Thank you. Let's pray for him.
He's seriously ill. I don't know say how you gonna go. I mean, campaign in this August and September month for the campaign period because he's seriously sick. So I pray for a recovery so that he can carry on a later campaign and be defeated solely by George Mano we are comes October.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's take this person. Hello.
Hello?
Good evening.
You were very, let me just tell you, soon your house.
This person. Good evening.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, that's my name. I call you from Bannersville.
Yes,
No,
go ahead.
people, sometimes you people, facilitate violence in this country.
Calls for all to pray
Why,
for Joseph
why,
Nyomo Boka to get well. That bad thing here.
why you, Judah Bola told you when you say,
Yes.
you say,
Yes.
communicate that,
Yes.
you're struggling.
Yeah. You asking me, I'm telling you, yeah, they say you ain't communicated. Something's wrong with your head. Hello.
People will pray
You're the last person on the line. Let me take my guests. Our guests are already here, so we need to transition. We're not taking calls again. Let me say this before we go to our guests. Some of you have a understanding problem, which it is being entrenched. I don't have control over how you understand and how you will get the message. But it's just simple as anyone will do. Ambassador Boaka, as far as we're concerned, with documents and pictures, all this in my possession is not well. He's sick. And I don't pray for him being sick because I want him to be well so he can see President Weah be re-elected. And then at the end of the day, he will be part of the inauguration where they will call him and say, I don't know, we should still be calling him former vice president. Yes. Okay, like we said today, we're gonna have our guests here at about this time. We're gonna join them now to see as well we can move on with some important issues. Like we said, the group calling themselves the National Reform Youth of CDC. We have the chairlady Olive Josephine Robertson and that of Zip Font Becker, who's the vice chair for administration. The both of them they're here, and they will better tell us about themselves and also how we move on the discussion. But let me go to the chair lady, Madam Chair Lady. Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Good evening, Seku. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be and listeners out there. My name is Olive Josephine Robertson. I like to be called Olive the Great because I believe that God has blessed me with so much potential and greatness that will benefit the young people within the Republic of Liberia through the workings of the CDC. So I love to be called Olive the Great. And I also like to extend my revolutionary salutations to my own father, leader, and teacher, Emmanuel Mobile Johnson, who keeps nurturing me into the political landscape of our country.
Okay, let me go to the next person. You want to tell us, give us your phone. How do you pronounce your first name?
Stephanos.
Sephinas
Stephanos Newspeaker.
means Baker. You get a nice name.
Thank you.
Okay, that's good. You are the vice chair for administration.
Yes.
So in a nutshell, maybe you run most of the activities within the institution.
Yes.
Okay, how are you people faring today?
We are okay.
Okay, let me go to the chair lady. How did the establishment of said institution come about?
So, thank you so much for that question.
Mm,
Well, the National Reform Youth of CDC is an auxiliary that comprises of young people, right?
mm,
Firebrand with so much energy,
mm,
but from a very depleted background in society. Because in this country, over the years, young people were stigmatized, right? That they cannot do things based on their conviction, based on their passion, but rather the love of money was what drive them or drove them to do certain things. So because of that, I, Olive Josephine Robertson from People Again District Berlin County, coming to this town with no immediate relative to take care of me and other stuff and seeing how life has dealt with me, right? And then looking at the lifestyle of George Weah, a man in whom I've seen myself and I've discovered my real story, right? If such a man can rise up from nothing and become a president within the Republic of Liberia, then of course there is a hope and space for me in society. So if such a man like George, we have never used his life story to limit himself, right? To think that he cannot become somebody permanent in society, but rather face the obstacles, face the difficulties, face the testing and trials times. And today we celebrate him as a president within the Republic of Liberia. Then I believe that I shouldn't be sitting and be doing nothing, right? There was a need that I be a part of the revolution of George Weah. There was a need that I be a part of the CDC, a place that is a home for the motherless, a place that is a home for the orphans, a place that is a home for people without hope in society. So I thought it wise that there are so many young people out there, like my parents, right? There are so many young people out there who life is pushing to the wall to do things that is not called for, to do things not because they want to do it, but
mm.
because at that point in time in their life, society has imposed on them and they have no options. They become vulnerable to circumstances and they have to give into life. I believe that if I rally these young people together and together we make a team, together we have a voice, together we have a say, and support the developmental outcome because Josh, we are in this country. We believe that our lives in the next years to come will not remain the same.
How old are you, by the way?
Well, I like first to table that
No, the
discussion.
reason why I'm asking, there are lots of persons listening. They want to know how old is she as she continues to speak the way she speaks.
Well, I I don't want to be size, but I'm a first time voter. That's what I
Okay,
can
you
say.
first time voter.
Yeah, I'm a first time voter.
You said the reason why you decided to establish said institution was because of the uncounted and continued development that the government or the president has continued to carry out in the country.
Of course, of course.
Those of you, the young people, what are some of the things that have prompted many you first-time voters to think that instead of you going to other political institutions, you thought to come to the CBC, particularly the president?
So let me come in, my colleague will also buttress that.
Mm,
So you see, let's be real, right? Let's be very holistic in this interview, right? In
mm,
this conversation, right? You know, over the years in Liberia, to see a certain president,
mm.
right, given
Just come close. Mhm.
to see a certain president, right, giving free education for at most 6 good years, right? It's not something that anyone with conscience can just turn a blind eye. To see a certain president, right, within a twinkle of an eye, constructing more than 700-kilometer roads within the Republic of Liberia. It's not something that you just expect we, the ordinary masses children, right, that are beneficiary of these developmental works to sit down and say the president is doing nothing. You know, in our lifetime, in our generation, it will be a curse on us, the young people, to have seen the light, right, and run to darkness, to have seen a savior and run to Lucifer. We cannot do that. We have understood the dynamics and the essence of why we were created, of why we were made. So, George, we are over the years, the Unity Party regime in this country, even though Mother Ellie Joseph Sirleaf did not provide free education for the Liberian students, but yet she came out to say the education system of Liberia is a mess. Even though she wasn't providing remedy to that mess, but she said it is a mess. But this is George Weah who is saying, I know what it takes to be a child. You see your friends going to school in the morning, your parents don't have it to go to school. I know what it takes if you want to become somebody in society, but you are not from that prominent background. You are not from that financial background where your parents can send you abroad, where your parents can give you that suitable lifestyle you deserve. So, not because you are born poor, but because you are poor, society began to stigmatize you. Society began to feel that you don't have anything better and relevant to offer. So, he, George Weah, is the sacrificial lamb for us, the young people. He, George Weah, went through the testing days so that there will be a day like this in Liberia where a child like me can benefit from the free war situation. Because yesteryears in this country, there were so many parents that were denied wired document because why? Their parents, their family could not afford was fees in this country. But today, all things, it all hail to George Weah, who has provided free was situation for the young people in Liberia.
Let me go to your colleague, and you want to say something about what she said?
Yes.
Go ahead.
All right. Thank you ever so much.
Mhm,
I'd like to say thank you for this opportunity
mm,
that you have given me to be on this show.
mm,
And also thank you to my powerful cheerleader who allowed me to accompany her here today.
mm.
So your question was why is it we young people of first and foremost always in the
What
going.
prompted you people to do go the way in which you're saying that it is prudent enough to vote for the re-election of President George?
All right. Like my cheerleader was saying that we the young people, if we try to close our eyes to all of those things that President Weah is doing in this country, then it will be a curse. Because looking at President Weah in his regime, he is not only looking at people who know book or people who don't know book, but whether you know book or you don't know book, whether you are a first class citizen or you are not, whether you are from a Muslim background or a Christian background, you bring everybody to the bowl. So we are looking at that as a first and foremost that within a country that a president take everybody to be one till we are safe. We are looking at the development. We are looking at the staple electricity. We are looking at the free housing unit. Can you imagine as a single mother, and then you have like 4 children to feed
Mm.
that day, and then you have a rent to pay, but someone just come from the other side and then give you a free house to stay in. It's a big plus to that person. So we, the first time voters,
Is there issue about housing units and free tuition really affecting positively the young people?
yeah, development. There are so many.
Mm,
If we try to listen here today, we will move from here today, neither tomorrow, because they are uncountable. But you are asking what really prompt us to join
mm,
President George Manuel.
mm.
We join because we are seeing our future within him. We
Okay.
are saying that we are from the same background. That background wherein
Are you from a poor background?
yes. And
What about Charlie? What about you? Are you from a poor background?
So in my in my speech, right,
Mm.
or in my statements, I told you that the Olive Josephine Robertson seated right here in the studio is a kid from Maryland County,
Yeah, you could be from
specifically
Maryland County, but
Plymouth Saracen
you could not
District.
be from a very poor background.
A child whose father is alive, yes, but was raised by a single mother. This is a child who had to sell during days and night hours in Gregory County to help her mother to go to school and to make life. And looking at how life has dealt with her, how life was dealing with her mother, she thought it wise to take on this self initiative in seeking of greener pasture to
Mm.
come to the city of Morovia, hoping that things will be
Is it
better.
because of you now being in Monrovia? Are you a beneficiary of the president free tuition?
So, the All of Josephine Robertson speaking to you does not have to be a direct beneficiary of the president's
Mm.
workings within the Republic of Liberia. But I envision a Liberia where young people, where old people can sit together and bring tangibles to the discourse, where everyone's opinions, where everyone's views can be valued, and everyone can have an impact, a say that together we can have the better Liberia that we all want. And this is what I see President we are exhibiting. So of course, I don't have to be a direct beneficiary of the president's working, but as long as the president is inclusive of his leadership, as long as the president is no longer saying that the young people of this nation are future leaders, but he is saying that the young people of this nation are today's leaders. So therefore, there should be platforms, there should be remedies provided so that we can give them the opportunities and space they need to explore their potential. So of course, I am a beneficiary, whether directly or indirectly, because if Liberia is safe, if Liberia is experiencing stable economic, if Liberia have good infrastructures, if Liberia have roads, obviously you are going to know that people from Bomi County, people from Lofa County will not have to be experiencing the damages of crops, but will rather make sure that their materials get to town safe so that they can sell them. So, of course, I am not a selfish person. I don't have to be that self-centered person to say, because George Weah is doing this for me, so I should support him. No, but I value the welfare of the Liberian
So
people.
you saw the workings of the president from a distance, even though you've not been a direct beneficiary of it, what you said, but you think what he has done and continue to do, it is just fair enough to have him re-elected.
So, and then again, right, to see a president, right, within a political party and is still maintaining people, right, who made up this political party called Coalition for Democratic Change, where yesterday we saw some mockers and jokers around here who thought they could come together like the president, right? At first in the CDC, we have three political parties, but now we have nine political parties, right? This is something that people think is very easy to do, to maintain a coalition. This is something that people will just sit around the fence and talk XYZ. But yesterday we saw them trying to do the same. But it didn't materialize, right? It didn't work out. These people are power greed. These people cannot even entrust an individual to run for a presidential seat, right? Without feeling that another person will overthrow them, or without feeling that another person will not give them a fair share of the cake. What do you think about Liberia that way? That people should be given position based on the fairness of the distribution of the cake? No, Liberia is far
I want
beyond that.
I know exactly. There are many others that would say much more, bigger things of what you're saying. And I want us to have the discussion, most especially about the young people.
Okay.
Looking at you, two beautiful, young ladies. Yeah. What has been some of the impacts Let me go to your colleague. Are you a direct beneficiary of the president, gesture in terms of education?
Yes, I'll say I am a beneficiary to the
Mm.
president.
Free
Yes,
tuition
the free tuition.
policy.
I am a beneficiary for the free wise tuition.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was about to graduate,
Mm-hmm.
looking at a poor girl coming from a family with a single mother who is responsible for four kids. And then when I'm about to graduate, I was supposed to pay a wise fees.
Mm-hmm.
But because of President George Manuel Weah, the wise fee that's supposed to be used to be paid for me at that time, President Weah paid it. And then that money was used to pay for my little sister next year tuition.
Mm-hmm.
So it is something that I really, really benefited from because looking at that situation, right, it is a strenuous situation
Mm-hmm.
wherein you have your little brother and your little sister who is coming after you
Mm-hmm.
to attend school for the next school year. And then you as a single mother have to pay our graduation fees and our wise fee at the same time. But person, we are telling wise that those money that will be used for wise fee, let that money be used for the other person that will be coming for the next 2 years. So that alone, I am a beneficiary, and I am a beneficiary of the stable electricity.
Mm-hmm.
I am a beneficiary of the road connectivity. So it was under President Weah regime that the Children Freeway was completed. So I am a beneficiary, and it was under President George Manuel Weah regime that my side of my community was able to receive electricity.
Which one of the communities
Southern community around the 35 tree.
around the what you got when you're going to Topot Village?
Yes. Before
Uh,
reaching top of village,
as
around
far
the
as you cross
35
the
tree.
bridge,
Yeah, where you get
okay.
it.
So you have that area fully electrified.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on to this thing. You young people, I want us to be a bit practical about some of the things we're going to be discussing here tonight. There have been this saying where governments come and go, young people have not been given the opportunity where they will say, you are too young to lead. You want the old folks to come with experience, or they've got a lot of experiences to do what they're supposed to do. And according to statistics and records show, this government is the only government that has been able to appoint in most of the major areas young people in the country. How does that in any way reflect to you, young people? How can it give a sense of reason where you will say that, okay, even though today you are not appointed in government, but there should be a reason why you can think that you will be appointed in government, or maybe tomorrow you could be somewhere much more better.
So, to speak to that, right?
Mm,
Firstly, we are grateful as young people,
mm,
right, to the regime of President Weah because yesterday President William Todper said the young people of this nation are precious jewelry.
mm,
But to give these precious jewelries the chance, right, to exhibit or to show what they had within them, it was never possible. But then here cometh George Weah, right, who is saying that young people, right, even though they are precious jewelry, but there's a need that their actions, right, that their impact to society takes immediate effect. So there is no tomorrow for the young people, and there should be a today, right, that will make them to feel relevant in their own country. So of course we feel very proud, we feel very happy, but then again, right, the workings of President we are surrounding the young people can only continue if the CDC stays alive. The workings of President we are around young people growth and development can only be in continuation if we, the young people, see for ourselves and not be misled. If we, the young people, know that there is a cost that George we have fight for, there is a cost that George we have paid to break the barriers between the stigma that we need to be 40 years old before we be ministers in this country. That we need to be 52 years old because the last time I checked, in the first regime of Her Excellency, the former Excellency, Madam Erin Josie Salif,
Mhm.
the youngest minister ever was 52 years of age until her second
You
regime.
said the youngest
Of course.
52,
52 years of age, you can
but
research
how
that.
do you say that person is a young person?
But that was the youngest among them. So
Eh, eh.
yeah, but today in George Weah regime,
Mhm.
you have 27 years old, and the list goes on, right? This is to tell we the young people, right, that there is no need to say politics is not our thing, because there is this saying among we the young people that yeah, politics is dangerous, it's desperate, is dangerous, is this, is that. But come to think of it, if you don't have better leaders, if you don't have good equipped, seasoned leaders who will think about your future, who will abolish that mindset that yesterday in this country it was only the first class people, right, that has certain privilege over the third class people. In this country, we fought President Weah is the hero, right, of classes in Liberia, because other presidents regime in this country, you must have come from certain background before you be given certain space in society. So that is why the young people, we are still suffering. We are still suffering the backlash from the opposition, because to them they believe that a man like George Weah is a third class citizen. So of course he should not. And there is no, to them they feel that there is no importance, there is no relevance for a name like George Weah to be called His Excellency. To them they feel that it is an insult to the state. They feel that the state is in a form of emergency that need to be retracted before it crumbles. But we got good news for them. We the young people, we obviously have good news for
What is
them.
the news do you people have for those of the people that think that President
So
Weah should not be
the good
re-elected?
news we have for them
Mm.
is they will become presidents in their dream. They will become
What do you mean?
Yeah, they will become president in a dream, because the population of this country, right? Young people constitute 65 to 70% of
Sure.
the Liberia's population. And if you look within the CDC today, you will see gallant young men and women who are no longer looking at the dynamics of finances to support what they believe in. You are looking in the CDC, you will see young men and women who are ready to lay down their lives to pay the cost for the CDC to remain alive. Because if the CDC stays alive after George Weah, there will still be another son or daughter from the Islam community to lead this country. After George Weah, there will still be another Koji to serve as a mayor for the city of Moreover. After George Weah, there will still be another Mama Sikaba to come from Clara Town to be an assistant minister to general ministry. So these things, right? These things will only happen if a party like CDC that comprises of the young forces within Liberia, rational, conscious young minded people within Liberia, if CDC stay alive, then Liberia will be for the young people, because we are saying it.
Are you working within the government or you've worked in government before? Hmm? Why is it you? The question sounds. How does it sound?
No, it's funny because
Hmm.
yesterday, if people were seen defending their parties like this, then it's obvious that they were seated at a good position.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I mean, they had to put in all their articulations, they
before
have
they
to
lose
put
that
in
job.
all the grammars, and they have to mesmerize the minds of the people because they want to maintain the state. Well, the Olive Josephine Robertson you see right here sitting in his studio is talking because she believes she has the hope that once the CDC stay alive, there will be a space one day for her to serve her country with due diligence and trust. So because of that, there should be a need that she ensure that she push out the message of George Weah. She push out the message of the CDC whenever or whatever day and hour she is called for, so that young people out there who have lost direction, who have lost hope, who believe that there is no tomorrow, can listen to her voice as a motivation, as an inspiration, as an enthusiasm to make them to rebuild themselves, to revampish their courage, to rebuild their energy, to believe that they too can also do the same, to fight for a cause. Because if they sit down and don't fight for a cause, and Liberia go back to the hands of those people who admitted to squandering their opportunities, imagine if I was to be a master degree holder by now, and had the Joseph Burger regime, right, that admitted to squandering my opportunity. So it is something that led me to not be a master degree holder because there is an old man who already admitted to squandering my opportunity. So if even I was to hold a job in this country, there is an old man that already squandered my opportunity, and I don't want that to happen again. I don't want that to happen in my generation or the generation of my children again. So because of that, I have to protect a man who is not squandering my opportunity. I have to protect a man who is securing a future for me. That even if he leaves the space, I will come on and stay strong and tall to defend what he has left.
Explaining and listening to you, it sounds great. And then someone would think that, okay, you sell all of this, but how can you relate this to communicate with your peers as to make them to understand that even though maybe in some instances they are not privileged to have seen some of the good things the president has done, how can you communicate to them so that they can understand that it is just prudent enough to have the president re-elected?
So in our group, right? In our group, we squarely focus on the masses children, right?
How do you know that they are the masses' children?
There are communities
Okay.
within our
Do
environment.
you have a database to?
Of course, we do have a database. So the last and the voter registration, our group was able to register with raw facts and data. 3,000 young people in the voter registration process. And then our membership within our group consists of over 1,500 young people. Yeah. So the message is going across. We are doing door to door campaign. We are going from one county to another county. We are engaging young people wherever we meet them. Mind you, we cannot force any young person to join us into this endeavor, into this journey. But for the ones who will see reasons, for the one who will rationally think that what our peers are into is prudent, is important, is relevant, it entails our future, our success, those ones will come to us. But for the other people who will believe that the other side of secondary is good, yeah, they will go their own way.
Have you been able to convince your colleagues? Let me go to your the vice chair for administration. Have you people been able to convince your colleagues, and are they listening to you people in terms of some of the messages you've given out to them that okay, it is the first of a kind to see a government, focusing on young people, empowering young people, creating the environment, enabling environment for the young people.
Yes, I would tell you 100% yes, we are able to convince young people because if we are not able to convince young people, then we weren't going to register 23,000 people during the voter registration process.
Mhm.
So because we have the ability and we have the facts that we able to convince them. So that's the reason why we moved to them. And I can assure you that they are listening to us because if they were not listening to us, then we were going to have the number of 1,500 members of the National Reform Youth. Like I will tell you, I was recently in Babodi County the day before yesterday.
Mhm.
And when I went there, I
And so you
carried
people go across the country?
Of
show.
course.
Okay. That
And when
sounds
I
good.
went there, I
I
carried
feel
the
that it's only Monserrato
no
thing
no no
though.
no 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 no.
So you
We
cut across the country.
Yeah, yeah. We
Okay.
deal with Monserrado, all of the 17 electoral districts. We have our leadership there. And so we decided to go across. So when I went there, I spoke with some of my colleagues, my peers, put them together, have a meeting with them, give them some and the reasons why we the first time voters, we should come together and then vote President Weah because President Weah is in the interest of young people. President Weah is looking at we the young people to take over after him. Like my cheerleader was saying that in the CDC, right after President Weah, we the young people, we are not only looking at President Weah, but we are looking at our CDC that will produce young person after President Weah.
As the president,
Yes. So we are
you all
not in
get
the
PR. Mhm. Mhm. Go ahead.
So we are looking at a CDC wherein that young people or young generation will come out with something good. After Mayor Kochi, there will be a next person from the National Reform Youth or from the National First and Voter that will take over as a certain mayor of Monrovia. So we ain't carry.
And that part of what you've said, it is very interesting. You know, seeing the young people taking over the mantle of authority where leadership will be controlled by the young people.
Mhm.
And that's a very good dream. Do you think it's something that will come to reality?
Oh, I can say yes, it is already happening, right?
Okay.
Because if you have a 27 years old minister,
Mm.
so to tell you that it's something that is reality, it's not something that I need to ask me that if it will come to pass, right? It's not something that you need to ask me because it is something that we are seeing all over in the country that young people are dominating.
Okay. Okay, let me just read you this post. It's been shared with me. And I was asking them as to whether they paid a visit in Wapolu County. And the post here from a region for, it's here on national TV.
No,
National first
national
and
first
foremost.
time voter.
Okay, National First Time Voter TV.
No, national first, that the first time voter we abbreviated.
But then I seen TV at the front of it.
National first
CDs.
time
Oh, okay,
voters.
voter. Okay,
Yeah,
so the TV stand for
yeah.
the
First
voter,
time voters.
first time voter. Okay, thank you. So let me read this, and it has the photograph of His Excellency President George, where he says, as the campaign process continues to build momentum, Region 4 of the National First Time Voters, under the coordination of Olive Josephine Robertson, Assistant Secretary General of the CDC National First Time Voters Campaign Team and Chairperson of the National Reform Youth CDC, unleashed members of her regional delegation in Wapolu County as a means of decentralization and outreach of participation to every first time across the country, which is essential to the mobilization and direct chances of President Weah one round victory. The Bapolu chapter of the National First Time Voters, under the supervision of
Safina.
Safinan
Niche.
Mitch Banker, Baker,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Destiny Naomi eh,
Class play.
Kafle,
Yeah.
led young people to a clean up campaign in the country. This is the real struggle, and we are on the move to achieving victory by entering everywhere. I mean, everywhere our kids or first time voters are. And then you put your normal stuff and everything.
Sure,
And you can
sure,
see the
sure,
folks they were cleaning. So you people went to Bapulu country.
So,
They carry out
like that.
cleaning exercise. And how was the reception there?
Actually, it was great, right?
Mm,
It was great. It was something to be in the part of. Even you yourself, I wish that you were going to be part of that moment because
mm,
we demonstrated the whole council to the extent that even those on the other side they were like starting us.
mm.
When we were on the street cleaning up after we got through, we went to our haircutter wherein we chanted battle cry. We had
You people
some
have a
meeting.
headquarter there?
Yes,
Is it the CDC headquarters or
sure,
you people
sure.
the
headquarters?
CBC
Okay, so
haircutter.
you under the CDC
Yeah,
headquarters.
yeah. We chanted our battle cry, and
Mm.
then they were like starting what kind of kids. And our cousin does all over the place. So when they came out, we told them that we are the national first and first of the coalition for democratic change. So they were like, wow. Some of them even went out to buy us.
What did you people do? Let me say this, and we need to be a little bit practical here. And let me just confess this, and before I can ask you people the next question. One of the things or reasons that caught my attention was when you presented what you termed as a thank you message to His Excellency. And, we covered the program, Olive,
Mhm.
and I was saying to someone, and I said she sounded very, she's very brilliant, and I think she's somebody that the people in CDC should focus on. And I was so impressed about that, and I think you did well. I want to say kudos to you. Hope you can continue. Keep your head up, and don't think say you've reached your limit. What did you people do to get the attention of the president? On many occasions, I've heard the president speak about first time voters. What did you people do to get their attention? Mind you, we're talking about the president yet.
So for this thing, right, is
Mm,
simple. When you are a leader, you are a leader,
mm,
right?
mm,
And when you are a leader, you become a servant
mm,
in a sense that you are cognizant,
mm,
right? And you are very kind, and careful in taking into consideration everyone that
mm,
are involved with you. So, like I told you, right, there is a percentage of young people in this country,
mm.
and I mean the generation of the 18, 19, 20 today, right, are people yesterday that are real love for the president, but they couldn't express it on the
Okay, so
ballot.
many there were people at the age or ages of
16,
16,
yeah,
17,
15,
15,
yeah,
yeah,
and yeah, and now, right, they are on the universal age.
where
But
they
but
have the right to vote.
yeah,
Mm,
but then these are people, right, that listen to the name and workings of George Weah, especially when gun sounds, right? When the rhythms in this country, right?
mm,
When the share of blood was everywhere in this country, where today those same people that are coming back to our people that want to pretend that they are in the villages and slums, right? To buy the people's sympathy. When these same people fled this country because they believe that this place was a no safe home for
mm,
them, right? This is a George Weah who abandoned everything, who left the playing pitch and came back with the same skills that they criticize him about today. They call him a mere footballer, but this is George Weah that brought football to disarm child soldiers in this country.
mm,
So in our generation, right? In our generation, when we were not 18, right? We heard these stories, right? And not only hearing these stories, but we have seen within the life of this man that he hold the young people so precious and dearest to his heart to an extent that he gave us free education, not just an ordinary person will do. Even though they defend the free education to say it is taxpayer money. But let's take a little survey, right? Yesterday in this country, we had other presidents from Joseph Jiggin Rabbit reading to Madam Ellie Johnson Sirleaf. So if these people were using the taxpayer money to get free education, imagine how many PhD holders we have been in this country. Imagine how many PhDs holders we have been in this country. But these people didn't care. These people never thought that young people too also needed education. But this is a George Weah who, at the age he was to have education, he was denied. Not because he wanted to achieve education that desperately, but because there was no precedent to give free education to young people. So with the young people we have seen, because we know what it takes, a child like me know what it takes to go and see a midnight while your parents are asleep, while other big brothers and big sisters are asleep, while you will only make $1,000, take it back home to make sure that you have some coming from there for school fees, to make sure that you have some coming from there for recess, for feeding the entire house. A young child like me, a child like me, I
mm.
experienced that. So if there is a president in this republic that has given me free education, I should mobilize my coin to vote for this president. So because of that, the president has seen the expression of love, the expression of gratitude on the faces of the young people. So because of that, he is saying that my first time voters, you are dearest to my heart. That is why wherever he goes, he will always notify the first time voters in this country.
Now, how can you communicate to your colleagues, your peers, and someone listening? And I know it is very interesting catching, and those of the people listening, where they're listening to young people of your kind, saying some of the things you're saying, and saying some of the good things of what the president has done, and you think it is just important to have the president re-elected. How can you communicate to your peers, your colleagues out there listening to you tonight, giving them reasons, or maybe talking to them as one of because you've reached a point and you've understand. Maybe some of your colleagues don't know some of these things have happened or continue to happen in the country. How can you? Let me start with you before I go to the chair lady. How can you communicate to them as to a point where yes, we're of the same age range. This is it, and this is what you need to do in terms of having His Excellency President George we are re-elected.
Okay, thank you so much for that question.
Mm,
Firstly, I will move to them, go to community, or district to district,
mhm,
go to my kinds, my peers, and then go to them, interact with them, tell them that, give them, some of the reasons why we should re-elect President Weah,
mm,
in the sense that we should re-elect President Weah because President Weah is our kind. President Weah is our own. The reason I say President Weah is our kind and our own because he is a man who takes the poverty. He is a man who knows the definition of poverty. He is a man who knows how it takes for a child to be sent out of school
mm.
for school fees. He is a man who knows what it takes for a child or a children to go on days with hunger. So these are some of the messages that we carry to them, looking at this meal that we can see ourselves in. If this man can become a president of Liberia and start to change the mindset and start to change that ugly foundation of Liberia to a new one, to change that mindset of the old ones, looking at we the young people to suffer, looking at a young girl who will go out there looking for a solution, maybe to go to school for a school fees and then be used for sex before having that money for school fees. And looking at this president who is now paying our wise fees, who is now paying for public university and high schools around here. So with all of those good achievements and all of those good development that he has done, the, there is a reason why we the young people should vote for him. So these are some of the things that we will carry to them, and those that have
So I want
reasonings.
you to use the radio now, the both of you, before we go to the lines. Talk to your colleagues, encourage them to vote for the president
Okay, so before my cheerleader come in, I would like to say to my colleagues and my friends out there
of age
of age
18,
18,
first time
19,
voter.
first-time voters,
Mm,
I would like to say, everyone, we are seeing the good work of President George Manuel Weah, a president who is in the interest of the young people, a president who is seeking and advocating daily on the behalf of young people, the president who is going for the young people, a president who is involving young people, giving young people the space in society to serve. Looking at Mayor Koji, who is the youngest person, like I said, the youngest city mayor to serve in Monrovia, and looking at our Chairman Imare Moluba Johnson, Chairman Nito, a young guy who is serving to Ministry of Youth and Sport, looking at the free wide situation, looking at the free housing unit, looking at the road construction, looking at the road connectivity, looking at the stable electricity. So we the young people with all of those things, we can vote President Weah because if we vote him again, he will do more than what he has done in
okay.
the interest of us.
Okay, let me go to the chair lady. How can you now use this time? Campaign is on. Talk to your colleagues to vote for President Weir.
So I just have a simple message, right?
Mm.
Because we will continue to list the tangibles of the president, but if other young people out there, right, don't see the tangibles sufficient, this is my own little advice, right? Why they should support the CTC and vote the president. As a young person, regardless of where you find yourself in life, you know that you obviously know that you have an aim, you have you have objectives, right?
Mm.
You know what you are aiming at and what you want to become in your lifetime. So there may be rough days, yeah. There may be rough days that you may feel that life does not worth going forward anymore. Maybe you are feeling down over a situation. Maybe you are from a background that is not favorable and suitable, and because of that, you want to get into life another way. But like President Weir, I think the best thing to do is to stop setting and bettering yourself, right? Because the first defeat of a man is when he set and accept, what he is going through at the moment.
Mhm.
Even though you will be experiencing the many nights and days of hunger, even though you will be experiencing a situation in the community where probably people don't want to be your friends because you don't have it. But I don't think you have to sit and feel discouraged. But you can build on these challenges. You can build on these obstacles like all of Josephine Rabasi, who instead of sitting and allowing her story to make her feel pitiful or to find people to explain to her, because mind you, yeah, there will be people that will be ready to sit to listen to your stories, right? But not everyone will want to help. Not everyone is that savior as they present themselves, especially if you're a girl out there. It's obvious that people will listen to the stories, make empty promises, and take advantage of the situation. And at the end of the day, they are going to add to your already nightmares, right?
Mm.
But then, as a young person, you have to start to calculate and think. Say, even though I was born in this poverty, which is not my fault, but it will be my fault in the next, 20 years, 30 years of my life. If I don't have any means to transform the lives of my family. So, how can I transform the life of my family people? It is by going out there and working after opportunities. Instead of I sitting to wait for opportunities to come knocking at my door in Kotsu, let me now start to do things innovatively. Let me now start to be a creative thinker, right? Let me now start to engage whoever I think I can engage, that even though you will not give me the money I need now, but allow me to give my services. Because the last time I checked in December, I walked to the CDC party headquarters voluntarily and said to the youth league chairperson, who is now my fighter, that I want to work for the CDC. I want to serve the CDC because I see myself within the CDC. This is whom, this is where I belong. And if I think that I will become somebody, let me become somebody in the CDC. And I went there with that conviction. And today, even though I'm not a minister, even though I don't have government position, even though I'm not in government office, but I am seeing the impact and the effect of all my life. So I want young people out there to change their mindset and never allow themselves to be pitied by society because of what they are going through, but they should build on these challenges so that they can become successful person for the future.
You're listening to the program Issues of Today on Voice of Liberia 104.1. My name is Sekou Sharif. I have my two distinguished guests here tonight on the show. They're speaking about reasons for the president's re-election, and they said they've come from the National Reform of CDC. They're speaking in a very good tone. You're listening to them. Let's go to the lines and hear you, Liberians, what you've got to say about this. As we all continue to ask and speak to you about the re-elections of President George Weah come October 10, 0770 907 907 0770 907 907 0880 907 907. The WhatsApp line is 077 plus 231 770 907 907 is the WhatsApp line. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Seku.
Mhm.
Seku. Hello?
Good evening. You are live.
Yeah, Seku. This is Emmanuel Smith. Seku, and I'm phoning from District State. Let me say good evening to your studio guy. You know, Seku, I appreciate the condition of the studio guy. I appreciate them. You know, I just like the name that they are bearing, that they are first time voter. So we need to provide them the guardians, the education, so that tomorrow they can make mistakes that will bother them in the future. I listen to
So
your studio
Smith,
guest referring
Smith,
to,
Smith,
yeah?
So
Yeah.
when they were to support Joe Boaka, they made no mistake.
Seku, we're
I'm
speaking to the
asking
topic that
you.
is that is
And you
away.
see the
Can
problem
we
that can
allow you to
come?
speak to
I'm
the topic that
asking
away,
you.
Seku?
You will answer me, then you go. You heard me asking them questions.
Yeah, but Seku,
When they
you
were
ask
to
them question,
support Joe
they
Boaka,
didn't ask
then they
you
were right,
question.
right? When they
No,
were to
this
support, I'm
person, when
asking
they
you,
allow
and
me
you
to
don't.
speak,
This is why always you and I will not end it. When they
so
were to
what you
support
want me to
Joe
say? What's the
Boaka,
question?
I'm asking you, when they were to
Uh-huh.
support Joe Boaka, they were not wrong. Is it so?
They will not be wrong. Can
Oh,
I make
okay.
my point now?
Okay, no, they're not Joe Boka show here. I will cut you off. They're not Joe Boka show here. We're not allowed that one there.
Seku,
Hello,
Seku, this
good
is
evening.
DJ on my back here for
Very good, DJ
let's
Lomex.
have
Now let me
listen.
let me say this to y'all, right? And this is one of the things I respect DJ Lomex for. He knows I know we can disagree with each other. He supports the Unity Party, but he comes to the show with a fairness and how he think and see things with a very realistic issue. Go ahead, DJ Lomas. I will continue to obstinate because
You know,
he doesn't come to the show with a honesty. Go ahead.
this country they belong to every one of us.
Sure.
Beside the president being good or being bad, every negative reflection from the president is brought down to every one of us. Every good one is brought down to every one of us. These people are first time for that what they see. But sometimes they see something in a negative way, and we that see in the positive way, we collect the 11 and everybody got their own desire,
Thank
and
you.
who they want to vote for.
Yes.
Because the Constitution gives you that right and power. If you come on and say something about your candidate and I that is not going down well with me, it's not view to come on and say, so and so everybody is there, it's not correct. So let
Lomas,
me
you
just
get
say
it.
all this.
Thank you. You are right. That is just it.
So for me, what they are saying, that what they believe. But for me, I see on a different way.
Go ahead.
For me,
Let's hear you, brother.
I'm looking at the president has not been report to first election. Because if all the president was to first election, they have been report, you are listening to the LCC people say, no. So you have to take that decision. Because many people were caught in the web of election investigated by the LCC that this time the people should be investigated and be sent to prison or maybe where they took and be given back to the country. But because the president maybe put some leniency on them, or maybe think that because it's from the CDC, you don't want to do it. And any president that will come, besides your president here, he will tell you the same thing. Corruption first, if at all you don't go off corruption, this country will continue to be that people will continue to reach yourself. Some of them have never had nothing to do with integrity. They have
Thank you.
been in two places around here.
Okay.
So we have to change our mind and attitude for this country. Thank you very much, my brother.
DJ Lomas, thank you very much. Thank you. He's a United partisan, though. This is how we have a conversation. Disagree to agree, we'll move ahead. But you can't be too trivial about what you say. Hello. Good evening.
Mr. Kerry, how are you?
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. My name is DJ Junior, and I'm joining from a user residency in District 12.
Sure, go ahead.
I listened to your two studio guests saying that almost everything President Weah has done is visible. It is true. You know, they all said President Weah is the best president since 1847.
No, they did not say since 1847. Get it right.
Okay, so let me say this now, Mr. Kerry.
Get that right first, then we go ahead, please. They
So,
did not say since 1847.
okay, so, okay.
You want to get it right? Get it right, don't go ahead.
So, how you want me to say it? How you want me to say it?
No, apparently you didn't listen, right? You didn't listen. Be kind, be kind. You didn't listen to the show, right? You're misquoting them. You're misquoting them. I want you to correct your mistake first, then we'll go ahead.
So how do you want me to answer you?
Because what you just mentioned on the radio, you gave false information. They did not say since 1847.
Okay. Okay. Now I say 1847.
What did they say? You want to quote them?
Can I proceed?
You want to quote them? I want you to correct that mistake first. Then go ahead. You got thousands of people listening.
Can I proceed?
Sir, I want you to correct the mistakes first.
It seems to me that you're from the door, eh?
You who for me to be afraid of you?
No, but
No, but correct the mistake. Okay, we're not making confusion here. Let me take another person. Correct the mistake, and then you don't want to do it. Hello.
Hello?
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Let's hear you.
I'm Destiny Naomi Kaffler calling from TC Party headquarters.
Go ahead. Are you part of the first-time voters?
Yes.
Let's hear you, Mama.
say I would love to appreciate my powerful chairman and all his Josephine Zabot
Mm.
for the good job, and to my BCO, Miss Baker. I'd like to appreciate you guys for your hard work. Continue to work with families to continue to be with you until we see the end of this job. Thank you, then.
Thank you very much. Let me take another person. Very simple. Good evening.
Good evening.
Let's hear you.
My name is Arthur. I joined Arthur Cooper. I joined from 17th Street.
Ato, go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, I want to say first of all, I want to say thanks to your studio guest and to you. As I sat and listened keenly, first time voters, we should get things right. Like the cheerleader rightly stated, the flag whole lot of issue. They made mention of the free education President Weah is giving. But just to checkmate that, it's a free tuition. And moreover, that free tuition at the University of Liberia, some of us we are there. Right now, as I tell you, I'm a student of that place there. That free tuition, the place is habitated. So
Is
the
it
free
is it
tuition,
true? Hello,
free
sir,
tuition,
sir. A minute,
you
please,
people
sir.
are,
Sir.
you people,
Hello,
you people
sir.
are,
Listen now. Hello, hello. Let's get
yeah,
things straight here. We're not
yeah.
talking about the place is dilapidated. We're talking about, is it true that there's a free tuition at the University of Liberia?
Is that what?
Is it true that there's a free tuition?
The free tuition is there.
Okay, they're not talking about, they said free tuition. They're not talking about dilapidation.
Okay. Now, yeah,
Mhm.
no,
So you
no,
just approve or confirm that there's a free
it's
tuition.
being flagged now as a medium for campaign as a swag.
But I can paint out you see the people can to come, make you happy.
No, I know it did not come to that bar. I also want to correct something.
No, there's
That's
no
not
wrong
correct.
into what you need to
Young
correct. You
people,
know what you correct? You
the young
correct
people,
wrong. Hello, sir. Hello, hello. I mean, we
yeah,
in
hello.
campaign time, we need to strictly the contradictions.
I
You know what
know,
you can
no.
correct? You know what you can correct? You correct the wrong. And there's no wrong into what they said. They said tuition. And you talking about
No, but
dilapidation and everything.
no, but actually, equally so during campaign time, we can also actually checkmate misleading
But
information.
there's no misleading information here. They did not say the building bar or the building group. They
Yeah,
talk about free tuition.
but then you get, that's what you should give me chance. Let me go through myself.
No, but you just made a mistake. So I want to correct you. Thank you, Chief. I do appreciate you. Let me take another person. Too many persons on the line. Hello. Mm-hmm. Good evening. Hello. Okay, let me take this other person here. Good evening.
Hello?
Yeah, good evening. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm Mohammed Eddie calling from Jamaica Road.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I highly appreciate your guest in the studio.
Mm.
And some people not understand because they are educated, but maybe according to the people they say educated fool.
Mhm.
If you critiquing, your teacher will tell you negative and positive critique.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's only zero negative critique now. So I appreciate it. People let them go ahead. People say they are point out, but they not say sense like raw on it. Maybe if since they started to vote or they start mentioning people voting around. So I highly appreciate it. Myself, I will volunteer myself to join them in the process to start helping around.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'm from Grand Kema County.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Good evening.
Hello.
Yes, you are live, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Sherry. Sherry. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Walaikum salam. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm calling you from District 7 in Nepal community.
Mhm.
I thank my two sisters against you tonight because we don't see the tangibles. What are people then saying around about the president?
Mhm.
Me, I can tell any Nigerian president, we are not being 5 years in our care year. Because when you're taking the 2 years from the COVID, then president, we are not even 5 years in our care. The tangible.
Okay, thank you. This person. Good evening.
Hello?
Good evening.
Really, sir.
Go ahead.
Very sorry for me. Secretary General of the National Reform Youth. We
Mm.
use this medium to appreciate my powerful chairman, my Ollie Joseph Robertson, and the powerful CEO, the VCF, my Latina Miss Pego, for their splendid deliberation what is said in studio, it is something that the national phone we are seriously engaged with. We said from the onset, we are going to really let the president on the first father because our powerful chairman and father, Emmanuel Johnson Mobile, said in West Point. So because of that, we are making our full duty and priority to make sure that the president is re-elected on the first ballot. That is why we are left Monserrado now. We are in the counties because we finished conquer the whole of Monserrado. During the voter registration, that my powerful challenge that we registered 23,000 voters. So we want to do the thing in the various counties to make sure we conquer all of this. And the thing counties to make sure the president is re-elected on the first ballot. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. This person. Good evening. Hello. Uh, Let me take this. Hello.
Hello? Hello, Tegu?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yes, I'm Lionel Summer calling you from Puebla. I joined this conversation from Puebla community.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I want to appreciate our you guys in studio for their massive contribution to us when we are doing our first time photo.
Mm-hmm.
And what I want to say to them here is the first time photo work we are doing, I want to know whether is there Adam, Jenna, or only if Jenna they are controlling.
Mm-hmm. That's a
And
good
then
question.
then the next one here has to do with they are saying that they are touring the entire country, that is from county to county.
Mm-hmm.
Will either be present indeed for them to at least set up strategic people within each of the counties for them to be moving from county to county because people will be want to listen to this.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me take this person here on the line. Hello. Good evening. Too bad. Let me take this person. Good evening. Okay, let me come to this line. I don't know this line. Hello. Yeah, good evening, sir. Go ahead.
Good evening. Civil
Mm.
the small student that come from proclamation.
Okay, go ahead, sir. Let's hear you.
I want to appreciate these little girls that in studio. They said it all. You see, they said, say the truth and the truth shall help.
Mm-hmm.
Always when CDC telling that the truth, they can always really get somebody who's joking, in their soul. And the record is only one, not kidding. The president who first time in history to do all the possible in less than 3 years. I would be a small piece in the treasury at that time with $1,000 LB to pay was I really missed that wire at that time. I don't know how to send me money, that $1,000 for all in trade because I was safe for the test. And now since the president thing was to be making tuition free, getting more hospital, more any other president, getting more room, more any other president, and all the government paying 2 months, giving all cheap now, less than 2 years. Even when you did the party, about the thing, he said the top down that is ahead of coming. You go out to, if you go a little, you go a little up, you have to be strong to set it. They said to let him know what was going to happen after the game. Even the guy who is the budget head, they call it President Dopo, we are telling him from the same country, from the G country. Getting me? He
Thank
said,
you.
when President Law coming into power, they start feeling bad. He said, because all the people that money to be coming from, they know that all the people will break down. He said, so your citizens for more. As soon as they go, look at how the net put in place. We let them do that. Those years, then Kurabara came. But we had it, type of stuff, look at the net, how am I on it, 15,000. So we start to region will have 207,200 plus votes. We
Okay.
get 250,000 doing that.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
If you're going to get them,
Thank you. The last call.
let's get in the country to
Thank you. Thank you. The last call for the show tonight. Hello. We can take all your calls, please. Hello. Good evening. Okay, let me take this person. You are the last caller. Hello.
How are you?
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Let's hear you. We can take all the calls. Let's hear you tonight.
I think from my two sisters like in studio because I get from Pratt and the survivor fee.
Therefore, now I say weapons on our in my house here. I will know the president will beat the people in one round. We already know that is very the young people in this country, the first time for us and whosoever you might tell I am for that. But my survey say today, yesterday, today, or any other day, I'm not sure that this president will be people in one round. The point anything, by the grace of God, and we do that. So I think my two people like this
Thank
so
you, thank you very much. Let me go back to them as they wrap up on the show tonight. Let me go to the vice chair for administration. You will just say one or two words to the callers, and then you wrap up. Then I'll go to the chair lady. What have you to say to the callers?
Okay. I would like to say thanks to everyone for putting out that feel, even though everyone who agree with what we say here today, but
Hmm.
we have already said what we wanted to say. So whether they agree or not, we have already said that. And to those out there, our first time voters, I would like to say that's what whatsoever people will say, whatsoever they will do to convince you to change your mind because they will say that you don't know anything about politics, you just coming up. No, we tell them that you yourself have to make your own decision on your own
Okay.
because you are the one that is going to be affected from it. Whatsoever decision that you were made today, whether the wrong one or the bad one, it will fall on you. So let us be focused and push our agenda. Let
Mm.
us be focused and put our president who is in the position to push with the young people forward. So thank you once again, Mr. Seku, for this opportunity that you have given us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's go to the chair lady, Madam Chair. What have you to say to the callers, and you wrap up as well.
Okay, so I will again want to say thanks to you
Mm.
for this invitation on your show. And I also like to say thanks to your listeners, right, for following. You know, if there is anything that is so beautiful in this country, that is democracy,
Mm.
right? And our form of democracy is a form where everyone has the right to express their different values and belief politically, right? That is the beauty of the regime of His Excellency Dr. George Weah, right? Because he gives more freedom
Mm.
to the species of people, right? Whether positive or negative. But again, in conclusion, I want to say to the people from the other side, right, that it is not our fault that when they were first time voters, they never had this opportunity, but they are standard bearers, right, to be given the space to be brought at the forefront to be a part of history making. So they should not blame their definitives, right? They should not blame their misfortunes on us because we are not responsible that the United Party, right, cannot recognize young potential people to propagate their message. So they should not think that we are in error because for so long this is the stigma we have been telling you about, right? That young people are not believed and perceived to be people who can do things based on what they believe in, what they think is factual. But because
Mhm.
the United Party has closed the young people eyes, right, to the real working, so they believe that when you are 40, 50, 60 is when you make sound decision. But
Mm.
we are saying no to such a lifestyle in our society,
Mhm.
and we want to say come any day and hour we remain crystal clear about the side we have chosen, and President we are in the CDC is what we are going to support and
Thank you.
defend with the last drop of our blood. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We want to say thank you to our two beautiful sisters for coming tonight on the show. And they were very articulative in their issues they proffered. They're from the National Reform Youth of CDC.
when you join the army,
Yeah.
you have to be ready at any time.
Mhm.
So I'm glad to be here. And good evening to everybody listening to me
Mm.
around the world in Liberia.
It's been a while. Stop seeing you. How you been faring after your government job?
Oh, very well.
Mhm.
Very well, certainly.
Just come close to the microphone, please. Mhm. Very good. Go ahead. Uh-huh.
Very well.
Mm,
Very well. I've been in the private sector.
mm,
It's been tough, but
mm,
it's okay because I have good health,
mhm.
and so I must give God the praise. That what
I,
makes
I'm,
us.
I'm a witness to it because I'm
Yeah.
seeing you very shiny. How it feels, being in the private sector after the government. People will say you're in the government, you get your salary, you get a strike card, you get your coupon for gas or fuel, whatsoever you have, all these things to your. How it feels being out of government.
For me, it feels good because I was in the private sector
Mhm.
before I went to government, and so leaving government, I didn't miss it that much because I was used to being in the private sector where you are very independent, and so forth. But when I was in the government, of course, there wasn't, government doesn't have money right now.
Mhm.
So we didn't get free scratch card, we didn't get gas, but it
Mm.
was okay
Okay.
because we're working for our people.
Okay.
And when you're working for the people, you should be contented with what you have.
Did you enjoy you being in government?
Well, for the short time I stayed there, I had a small good time, and the rest of it were bad because,
Mm.
it was difficult working there.
Do you make
And this party is called the Democratic
Mhm.
People's Party.
Mhm.
And
DPP?
the
Mm,
PPL,
okay, DPPL.
Democratic People's Party. Don't mess it up now.
Okay,
Yeah.
we want to get it correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So as you know, CDC, I cannot sit here and say negative things about CDC like I've always said.
Mm.
CDC is like a baby to me. I deliver that child. So whatever they have done to me over the years, I've forgiven them.
No, I'm not asking
What's
you about what did transpire. I'm just asking you, are you still a member of CDC? Because from what I'm seeing from the National Elections Commission, you are not contesting on the CDC ticket.
No, I'm not.
But are you still
Even
a
though
member? Mm.
I was asked to run on the CDC
Primaries?
ticket,
Mm.
but I told them I was going to run on another party ticket because that's what I wanted to do.
He said that you did not get the show confidence of you winning the primaries that could lead you to serve as the party's candidate. That's the reason why you decided. Because one would think that why would you want to refuse or offer where you've been called upon by the hierarchy of in CDC to say, "Oh, we want you contest on the ticket," and you say, "No, you won't do it."
Well, you see, you tried to push me to the wall, which
No,
I
I'm
don't
pushing you.
really, really want to go into. I thought you called me here to
We were talking about
actually
your what, but we want
talk
to know
about
about your history
my
before we come
campaign and
to.
stuff like that.
We'll go to
But
it.
I really don't want to talk about CDC because
Mm-mm. There's no way that we
they
can
are they
divorce
are
you or distance you from CDC.
look
Anybody see you, they see CDC in you.
look CDC.
Mhm,
Like I've always said,
mhm,
one of the founding members,
mm,
one of the founding member
mm,
of CDC, President Weir,
mm,
President Manning Weir,
mm,
and I, and one or two other persons, we own CDC.
mm,
But over the years, I haven't been treated fairly.
mm.
So you want me to be on and frank with you? You know me, I'll go to the point, and I
Mhm,
really don't want to go there.
mhm.
And I've not been treated fairly over the years. You
Okay.
understand? So when I was called this trip to say, look, I want you. Somebody called me
Mm,
and said, I want to put your name down so we can send it to NBC. And I was like, oh, it's an honor
okay.
to have you call me. But I'm sorry, I can't run on the ticket. I'm going to be going either independent or to another party.
You think the CDC
And
cannot make you win the elections in district number 4, Monserrato County?
I
Hmm?
don't know. I don't know. Really,
Why you so
really.
you jittering to answer the question?
Me,
Mhm.
Seku,
Hmm?
have you ever seen me jittering?
No.
The problem here is
Mm,
that the
mm,
problem is that this election time. Hmm?
mm.
For me, what I believe in, right? I believe in everybody going and be more civilized.
No, but
Let
that's
everybody wait, give
mm.
me a chance.
Yeah. Go
Second,
ahead. Go ahead.
let's go to the election and speak about the issues that matters. The issues that affect the people, the common people. The issues that really affecting the common people that gotten so annoyed. Let's go to those issues. It's not about CDC, Liberty Party, this or that. Look, let me tell you something. All the parties involved, right?
Mm,
Including CDC. Whether the leaders of those various parties fight, they get up and fight again. Even people they have resolved
mm.
to, to vote on their own, to make the decisions on
Involve any political parties.
what no. But I'm saying that the people mind are made up. The people mind are open to understand where people are independent now. They have the independent mind to say, okay, what are my leaders? What are the leaders of the various political parties are fighting on that? I'm going to vote this. I'm going to vote that. Nobody going to convince them. Nobody going to tell them, look, you vote this. You vote. Even though people going to tell them,
Mm,
but the people have their own thinking.
mm.
They have their own mind. The people have grown over the years, over the 6 years. The people have grown in their own mind, their own. They, they have grown to the point where you cannot convince them with nothing.
Is your is
You
your
have to
political
be discussing.
is your political institution feeding the president?
Mm, that I don't think so.
You don't
Oh,
think
you mean what?
your political institution
Uh-huh.
now you are running on the ticket of that political institution?
Yeah,
Are you people feeling a presidential candidate?
I think yes, it is true. The feeling of presidential
You
candidate.
do you
Yeah.
think there are possibilities of your political institution winning the presidency?
I have to think about that.
You are
Yeah,
not sure.
I have to think about it. It's something to think about.
Thinking about it,
Well,
so
I just,
we in a campaign time though. Anything you
I
say, for
have
people
to
listening to
think.
you, do
Oh yeah, I know a lot of people listen to me, but
mm,
I have to think about it
you are
because
not sure.
you look. Let me tell you something.
Mm,
When in politics,
mhm,
when you come on and say, no matter whether you like it or not, I will win. No matter whether you like it or not, I will do this. No matter whether you like it or not, here's what will happen. That means you are dictating to the people,
mm,
and the people are not crazy. So any
mm.
political party or any stand-up bearer or political institution that will come and make those statements, I mean, I'm asking them to stop that. Everybody can campaign properly. But when you make those kind of statement that will anger the people more,
Mm.
then it creates a problem for you.
And the
So
reason why,
you
because I
need
want to go to your political activities within District Number 4, the reason
yes.
why I ask you, I want to know whether is this something your political institution is thinking about that when you go to the first round election and you're not successful, there could be room for getting into marriage with your CDC government.
I wouldn't know that now, and I don't think anybody else does.
Hmm.
The fact of the matter is, the second round, people will navigate towards the two political parties that will go for the second round.
Okay.
Yes. There will be no one time, there will be no one round um,
Victory.
victory.
You think it's not possible in
It is
Liberia?
not possible in Liberia. I can say that for
But the
free.
similar thing happened in Sierra
And I,
Leone.
and I'm
Why
saying
you think such cannot happen?
Sierra Leone election will watch a year.
Um,
And that's not my country, so I really don't want to comment on it
you think it
the
was
way I
being.
feel.
Mhm.
So I don't want to go there.
Okay, let me go
I
to
want to
district.
deal with the situation
Mhm.
in Liberia.
Let me go to your district. I know you want to talk
Yes,
about it and
please go.
everything.
Please go there. Yeah.
Give us your platform in which you are, contesting on wanting to lead the people of District Number 4 in Montserrat County. What do you have to offer them?
What do I have to offer them?
Yeah, the people of District Number 4. What
I
is it you've got that you think it is so necessary, important, and all other persons that you want them to elect you that you could make the change they've been yearning for?
well,
Hmm.
as far as my knowledge can serve me,
Hmm.
District Number 4 needs a lot of work.
Okay.
It is the largest district within the Republic of Liberia, if I'm not mistaken. I stand to be corrected. And so anybody who goes there should go there with good intentions in terms of you knowing or feeling or knowing what the people need. There wasn't much done in District Number 4.
Mm.
And there are a lot of problems there. I'm not going to say I'm going to do everything, but what I'm going to be working on will be number one, affordable health care
Mhm.
for the people. Because majority of the people are poor.
Mhm.
They are striving to be where you and I are today.
Mhm.
And so healthcare should be number one. Because when you're healthy, you know what's going to happen? You're going to be able to move to the next step.
Mhm.
So health is number one priority for me. That means that if we have clinics, we have hospitals, we have to make sure that those hospitals and clinics have drugs
Mhm.
in them
Are you going to be
to
providing
save
them
our
from
people.
your salaries, or is it going to be based on what?
What is lawmaking? You go to the house to make good laws that will affect the people positively, right?
Mm.
Okay. So when I go to the house, I want to make sure that laws that we, if the laws are already on the book, I'm
Mm.
sure they are already on the book.
Mm.
The problem we have in Liberia from time immemorial is that people do not implement. Implementation is the problem.
The enforcement part of it.
Yes,
Mm.
implementation. We
Mm.
do not implement the laws that are on the book, the good laws, because Liberia has good laws on the book,
Mm.
but we do not implement it. And the reason why we do not implement those laws is because we seek every good thing for ourselves. We don't care. We just want to make sure that you yourself and your children are okay, but the vast majority of the people are suffering. So I'm going to make sure that the laws that are on the book and concerning healthcare,
Mm.
I'm going to make sure that we implement it
Mm.
when I get to the house. Number two, um, You want me to go on?
Yes, go ahead. We
Okay.
want to listen to you.
Number two,
Hmm.
I think the nurses, we need to send more nurses abroad for training, for training.
Hmm.
Because even though we're sending doctors and abroad for training and stuff like that, but we need to send nurses too.
But that
And
is a holistic approach that could be done by the central government, not just a lawmaker.
yeah, but you see, when the lawmaker is pushing what is good for the people,
Hmm.
not only just district number four, but what is good for the people when you as uh, 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 um, when you are there to push the laws or implement the laws that will affect the rest of the nation.
Hmm.
It's a good thing.
Okay.
It's not just district number four,
Mm.
but if you look around you, you will see that there's a need for hospital to have drugs in it. I hear people complaining all the time that they don't have drugs in the hospital, they
Mm.
don't have this. So if you have a lawmaker like me going in the house to make sure that that can speak to my other fellow lawmakers to see how we can push the laws or implement the laws that are already there that are affecting the healthcare to make sure that the health ministry does the right thing, make sure that when drugs come into the country, it will be distributed properly. Because what annoys me is that all the medical doctors, all the medical doctors in this country, they have hospitals, they have clinics, and all the drugs that come in from different nations for the poor people of Liberia has been distributed amongst the hospital, the clinics, and the drugstore, and that makes me upset.
How do you know of
So
such? Is it something on a fact?
I know,
Mm.
I know, and they cannot deny that. I know that.
So how do you intend
So
to stop such when you take over?
when I take over,
Mm.
I'm going to make sure first district number four. I'm going to do it for the whole country, but district number four, I'll make sure that all the clinics and things there
Mm.
have the drugs that is needed.
Mm.
People are not going to just take drugs. Say, oh, I called the health minister and she refused to come.
So
I
how do
called
you
this.
do it? You
You
say,
will have to come when we call you.
Mm.
Those drugs that have been brought into the country have to be distributed among the hospital and the clinics.
Okay. The next one
Yes. The next one, sanitation.
Mm. Is
Well,
district number
right
four
now,
dirty?
I already started it. The whole country is filthy.
Mhm.
Period. Period.
Mhm.
The entire country is filthy, it's nasty, it's dirty,
Mhm.
and I'm so ashamed when we have visitor presidents coming here and attending program. That makes me shame.
What do you think is
And
responsible for such?
the city mayor, Lord Mayor,
Mm.
my son Jefferson Koji is not actually putting his feet
But
down.
Monrovia is not Liberia.
He needs to put his feet down.
Monrovia is not Liberia.
Hello,
You said the whole country. You were being you did not. You were not Pacific.
hello.
Hmm.
Okay.
So I
What
want.
what I'm going to do?
Hmm.
I will take the whole country back and we'll deal with Maria first and its
Hmm.
environment.
So then I
Yep.
want to no
Yes. Let,
say.
yeah. Let me
Mm,
take the whole because I
mm,
have to go into all the counties to see how they.
mm.
And I know one
But
thing.
then you'll be
One thing.
forgetting about what you should do for the people in
No,
number
I'm
four.
saying I will have to go there to be able to
Mm,
authenticate whether it's
mhm.
clean or not.
Okay.
Because one thing I know is that the people in the hinterland or the people in the various counties that on outside of River, right?
Mhm,
One thing my mother told me, because my mother is from Nima,
mhm,
my mom told me that 5 o'clock, let's say 6 o'clock a.m.,
mhm.
they get up and sweep in the village. Everybody sweep the surrounding, the different quarters. They sweep it. Because if you don't do it, the chiefs are going to fire you. She told me that. She taught me a lot
So
of cultural value.
what is
So,
responsible of people not doing it now?
no, I'm talking about, I was just giving you the difference now.
Mhm.
Now that I've withdrawn the whole country,
Okay.
when
Mm.
you really upset about something that
Okay.
happened, you can
Mm.
see that. So within Monrovia and its environment, let me speak to my people today,
Mhm.
Liberian people.
Mhm.
Yes, it is true that
No, so you're talking about your district. Oh?
I'm talking about district and I'm
Uh,
talking about other things that are affecting. I come to get. I'm talking about my district too.
yeah.
My district is filthy.
Mhm.
Nobody has done anything there. Nobody doing anything. The
Mhm.
only thing they're doing, they got one old ambulance that
Mhm.
running all over the place singing song. And that's what they got to give to district number four.
Mhm.
But I'm saying to you,
Mhm.
Nothing has happened in district number
So
4.
how do you intend to
District number
tackle the
4,
sanitation issue in District 4? How you intend to tackle that issue so that District 4 can be one of the best districts in Montserrat County?
implementation of what you must do.
Mhm.
If the city mayor is in, if we have a city mayor in, what do you call
In
it,
the Pinsville
in
Belt.
Pennsylvania,
Mm.
which I know, and she have been trying her best, because one time I can remember I even had to come to the aid. They didn't have trucks, they didn't have money to do. They had to talk to somebody in the government to be able to give them money to do their work. Now, what I'm saying is that when I say implementation, is that these people, like the city mayor in Pennsylvania,
Mm.
she's willing to work too. But sometimes they don't have the money, they don't have the material to work with. So if you empower them by going into the budget, whatever money you got it for them, give it to them. And if they don't do the job, I will recommend the dismissal.
Okay.
Yes. Anybody, not just her,
So, but how
just
do you
anybody.
come to a point now to
But
blame the city mayor of
I'm
Monrovia?
coming there now.
Mhm.
I'm
Because
feeling.
you were in District
Listen,
4.
listen now.
You were in
I'm
District 4.
waiting District 4, but
I
that's
think
why
your city mayor or whosoever is Civet
she trying. No, that's
is
Yvette. No, you behind time
uh,
is Pam
Pam,
Belcher uh, um, Taylor.
but she should be responsible.
Yes, but probably she doesn't have the means to do it,
So
but
you
she
should
trying.
blame
Like
the
the other
mayor of
day,
Monrovia.
one minute now. I'm
Mm.
coming down. I like to be fair. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since my son.
Yeah.
The other day, yeah, we all right now. The other day, right?
You left first business.
No, I don't like no fuss. I just like the truth. I just like to put records straight, because Liberian people like to hear the truth. Let me hear them speak the Liberian English.
Mm.
But guess what?
Mm.
The other day, I saw her deputy and I said, "Oh, my office is located right there by the garbage.
Yes.
Right by the garbage.
Mm.
You know, when you're going to red, like when you pass Dugo Water,
Mm.
the next place you see my how you call it?
Your office.
My
Your
office,
mhm.
my office right there.
Mhm.
Now, I called her and I told her, I said, look, could you please, are you listening to me?
I'm hearing you. You're
I
alive.
said, could you please remove the garbage, because it's too much. It was coming all the way down to my office. And guess what?
Mm.
Less than 2 days, they went and removed the garbage. Day before yesterday night, I was there. They removed the garbage again. But it's the less unfortunate children are hit to call them Zogos, because they are my children. You know,
Mm.
I feel very bad for them. Yes. Those are intelligent children. I mean, the children, they are so
Okay.
smart. You won't believe it. No, wait.
Let's
I
go
got
to
it.
your platform because no time. We want to know what do you have for the people of District 4.
Yeah, but at District 4 now I'm coming.
Mm-hmm.
So
You talk about the sanitation. You talk about
the city mayor were able to remove that garbage.
the
She
next
removed
issue
it
you
day
have.
before yesterday.
Okay.
Okay.
We say plus to her,
Yes.
even though it is a
Yes.
job.
So my job there
Mm.
is to make sure that whatever money is in the budget, they should give it to these people to do their job.
You think they're
Now
not
coming to
receiving it?
Jefferson coaching. Wait, you jump me over Jefferson.
Mm.
Now coming to Jefferson coaching.
You want to talk about
For-
here?
But not anything bad.
Mhm.
I'm saying that the place is filthy, the entire Monrovia. But for Jefferson, I cannot say Jefferson doesn't have the money, because Jefferson has the power. He got more power
What power?
than the city mayor in Pennsylvania.
What kind of
So
power?
Jefferson got power. That big boy. Even though that my son is baby boy, but a big boy right now.
Eh?
So Jefferson has the power to command, and those places will be clean.
You think that's how it
What
works?
he needs to do.
You think that's how it works?
Hello.
Mm-mm,
He
I'm
has the
asking you, is
resources.
that how it works?
He has the resources. He has the money.
How do you
The city
say-
government has the money,
Mm.
and they have the trucks. They have everything. So and he sits close to the power that be. So Jefferson case is different from Pam case in.
Okay, let's go to your district. You
So
called
all
you
he
named
has,
two things.
yes,
Mhm, two
hold
things.
on. I tell level you. So you
Mhm.
come in Mayflower again.
No, we ain't coming Mayflower.
So-
I want you to.
So for Jefferson, he needs to put his feet
You
down.
be doing it till you not tell what you
No,
get
I
for
will
the
tell
people
you
to play
quickly.
there.
I will tell you quickly. He needs to put his feet down. No, because the city is nasty. I need to talk about it.
You be
He
representing District
He
4. What you
needs
doing on
to
this
know
side?
it's for the whole country.
Ah.
He needs to put his feet down
Mhm.
on his workers to clean the place,
Okay.
because his name is going out that he's not doing anything.
Mm.
So you make sure that he has somebody who will supervise the job. And if they don't do it, they get fired.
Okay.
Fire them and hire new people who are willing to work,
Mm.
because you have a lot of people who are not employed and are willing to work. So that my message to Jefferson Coach.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Now,
you. Go
yeah,
ahead. You only not
yeah.
need two things you want to
Don't
contribute
worry.
this for.
Justice.
Mm-hmm.
Justice.
Mm-hmm. Are there no justice being, taking place in District 4?
Justice
Mm.
must be served
Mm.
to everything I'm speaking on here. It will affect district number 4.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have to be particular. My people in district number 4 know that I'm a twin mother. I
Mm-hmm.
talk for everybody,
Mm-hmm.
but they know that whatever I'm saying here, it will benefit from it.
Mm-hmm.
So justice should be done to all mankind.
What do you
So
mean when you
justice,
say
when I
justice?
say
Now,
justice,
mm-hmm.
when a poor man
Mm-hmm.
has an issue,
Mm-hmm.
whether in district number 4 or in Monrovia or in Nima or in Lofa or Sanu or Granco or Birmingham Hills, they should be served justice before the law, and they should be treated equally.
Can I say
Equally.
this to you?
The laws will be implemented to the fullest with all no prejudice. I finish what I want.
Mm-hmm.
And transparency and accountability. Transparency and accountability will be one of my hallmarks. People are not transparent in
Mm-hmm.
Liberia. Majority of the people,
Mm-hmm.
not everybody, because you can still find some people.
Mm-hmm.
And to be transparent is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you must be able to get account of whatever. For instance,
Yeah.
they gave me, let's say they gave me 30,000 that they gave the lawmakers to for the district. They call it district engagement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. What happened to that money? What happened to the money? That money, when I receive that money,
Mm.
you know what we're gonna do
Mm.
right now? As soon as I get the money, I'm planning to open an account for district number 4,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna set up a council
Okay.
of each district. We got like I think 37 different
Communities.
communities.
Mm-hmm.
37 communities.
Mm-hmm.
Those communities each will be represented on the council.
Okay.
And on our council, they will elect the president, the vice president, chaplain, and what have you. And one accountant. That money will be placed into that account. We take 3 persons on our council to be on the account, to be
Mm-hmm.
on the checking account.
Mm.
I will be the 4th person.
Okay.
That is for check and balance. When you come to me, that money will be in the account, right? When you come to me and say you need money for your community,
Mm-hmm.
you must be bringing to me a project that is viable, a project that will affect everybody within your community and not just one person. And that project will be attached to wherever money you want to go through it, or my staff, me and them will go through it, including the council. And if it's good for everybody, I will be the last to sign that check. The 3 important person from the district, from the council, district council, will be there to sign that check, and then I will be the last to sign the check.
Okay.
And then we will have a supervisor or a manager that will work along with them with whatever project they want to do. So it's not going to be like it's coming into my account. No, I don't even
So
want to handle it.
what's the next?
The next one will be uh, equal distribution of wealth.
Wealth by
Wealth,
the
equal
national.
distribution of wealth
Mm.
from the national coffers or for the entire country.
Okay.
Like Liberia has a lot of wealth.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever money we got, I feel that whatever money that coming into the country or being taken from the selling of the iron ores, for example, B Mountain, whatever, gold, this and that, they should make sure that they distribute that wealth equally so that the various countries can develop. You understand?
Mm.
Then people will be more happier. People will be happy because at the end of the year, or whether you decide to do it in July or now our budget year have already changed from January to December or
Mm.
whatever it is. People will be happy. People will not cry. People will not complain because you know what? They know that when their share of the money comes, the superintendent or whatever a government will have to monitor what is going on, but that country will have projects that will be approved by the government to say, okay, let's say we want administrative building, we want schools, we want this, we want that. The government approve of it. They got a manager to make sure that the
Is it not
supervisor
the
job,
same
it
of
will affect
county
everybody
development fund?
positively.
It's not. Is it not the same of county development fund?
But are they giving county development funds now, or they change it to
Social.
no, they change it to um engagement. They change it to I understand you have to go and
Uh,
engage your people.
Constituent engagement.
Okay, okay, yes,
Constituent engagement.
yes.
Okay.
That's they change the name.
Mhm.
They just change the name, but they're getting the money.
Okay.
And what they're doing with the money, nobody know. But if you have somebody, or if the lawmaker who is there, if that lawmaker is in the interest of the people, you make sure that everything goes on properly. But let the people themselves
Mm.
handle the money. But they should be able to bring the proper proposal what we commensurate with the money that they want and will affect everybody
Okay.
positively.
The next
Then
one.
the next one, good governance.
Mhm.
Good governance.
Hmm.
Good governance is one of our major problems in Liberia.
From
The
the.
good governance commission they have,
Mhm.
I think they're just there. They're just there. They're not doing anything because a lot of things been going on that is so wrong. I will not go into details, but I'm hoping that those things will change. Good
Mhm.
governance has to put they got to put their feet down. But if you're afraid to do the job that the president appointed you to do, then you shouldn't be there. That's what I've been saying over the years.
Good
So
governance.
good governance.
When you talk about good governance, and some of the things you've named, one would think that it is not really a gender you've got to deliver directly to the district, but it is just of the same thing that the national government is working with.
Hello.
You talk about good governance.
I will be working with those things in district number 4.
Mhm.
Whoever that will be working with me with these different funding that is going to be given to district number 4, they have to follow all these things.
There
You
will
are
be
not
no separate fundings coming to a particular district once it is not intended for the district. Only you have like the constituent engagement money
but that's the
that will
money.
go across.
That's the
It is
money.
something that is happening.
But
You,
that's
you don't need to do it before it happens because it is happening before you can even go there.
yeah, but what I'm saying,
Hmm.
when I go there
Hmm.
and that money is available, right?
Hmm.
If the money is available to the district will take ownership of that money.
Are you saying to us
And they will
today
bring,
that
yes.
the current lawmaker of the district is not relating some of the things coming from the Capitol building to the people of the district?
Well, they leave with the people of the district to say it on election day, to say whether
Mm.
they have been they have been receiving this money or whether it has impacted
You
them.
you are
So they
resident of the district.
yes,
You can serve as
but the
one.
majority of the people have to they are going to say it through their votes.
Okay.
If these funds that have been coming in, if these funds have impacted the people, they will go and re-vote for the person who they want to vote for.
Okay. The next
But
thing you have.
if not,
Mm.
you will see it through their votes.
Okay.
And
What the
I'm
next?
sure
What's
they're going to be voting for me.
what next do you have? Mm.
Okay, the next one is youth empowerment.
Youth empowerment.
Youth empowerment in this country, we need a lot of training.
You're really not directly talking about District 4, but you're talking about the entire country.
Look, my man,
Hmm.
I'm talking about District 4, but it benefits
The
it
entire country.
benefits the entire country. I'm not selfish.
Okay.
But district number 4, this is what I'm going to do for them. These are the items that I'm going to be implementing.
Hmm.
I'm going to make sure that it happens.
Hmm.
So I'm saying to you that
Hmm.
we need more scholarships for our district, the students in our district.
Hmm.
We need training. We need technical skills because everybody cannot go to a
Is it that
university.
you gonna have them being established, or is it a national government project that you're gonna push for?
I'm going to push for those things.
Okay.
I would not come and lie here and say, oh, I got millions of dollars and I'm going to be doing this myself. No, but I'm going to push for it to be implemented. Government has a lot of good programs on the books for the youth and for other things.
Mm.
But because lack of implementation and self greed, that's why it is not seen in the various districts. You understand what I'm saying? So when you get,
Madam Jemama Wolokoli,
yeah,
what is it that what's the possibility of you winning the election in District 4?
hmm, I'm going to win the election in District Number 4 because the people of Liberia,
Hmm,
including District Number 4,
hmm,
know that I don't have to buy an airplane for them. I don't have to buy a train. I don't have to buy buses for them. And the problem is, if you're going to buy buses for your people, hmm,
hmm,
buses for your people, or build universities for your people within your district, and those universities are all placed in your name. If I want to do something for district number 4, I will do it in district number 4 name. That is for the people.
hmm,
But you cannot buy buses that are in your name and then you running it and that money goes to you and you
hmm.
build more wealth for only yourself. I don't believe in that. So I believe in for the people, by the people, and of the people. So that's what I'm going to do. Whatever I want to do, if I have to build anything there on my own or solicit funding for anywhere, that property or whatever I'm doing would be in district number 4
Who's
for
your
the people.
major contender before we go to the line in district?
I don't have no major contender.
You think if
I am
election is today, you will win the election?
I will win the election because the people know me. I'm straightforward.
Hmm.
I'm a woman of talk and do. When I say something, I do it. I don't draw back. And you know, when I go into the House of Representative, I will be seeking the interest in the entire country. So
We're in the
women,
campaign period now. I want to give you one.
gender equality,
Mhm,
gender equality,
hmm,
where if we're doing something in the district, like I already been having meetings
hmm,
and talking to them and stuff like that. Women must play a very important role in whatever we do.
hmm.
And I'm speaking to all the other lawmakers, incoming lawmakers, because most other lawmakers that they are going, are just few will be there.
You're not thinking about
That
yourself.
just few. No, no, no,
You're
no.
not giving.
The
You're
people
not
in
even sure if you go in there. Then
the
you want me to
people
talk about
in
other people.
district number 4 will vote for me because they know me, what I stand for, what I can do.
You're not even sure if you
Yes,
go in, but then you
I'm
say
not
other.
one of those sycophants who
Uh,
will go there for Gary and hauling Gary here and then no, 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 no. I'm not that kind of person. So they know that. They know of
so
me.
you're very
Even the
optimistic.
ones that they, oh, I'm very optimistic. I'm very positive.
Hmm.
Oh yes.
Yeah, but you winning the
So
election.
yeah. So women, if you listen to me tonight, you in the majority.
Hmm.
We have to make sure that the men recognize us as equals.
Hmm.
They recognize us 50-50. Whatever
Okay.
I'll be, whatever I'm going to be doing in the district, hold me for it. It will be 50 women, 50 men.
Okay.
50 women, 50 men.
Okay.
Gender equality.
Okay, let's go to
Yes.
the lines. Let's listen to you, Liberians. We have Madam Jemama Wolokoli, who's contesting in District Number 4, Montserrat County, wanting to serve the people of District Number 4. Before we go to the lines, we want to do justice to you. Use a meaning to talk to the electorates in your district
Okay.
because we're in a campaign period.
Okay.
Tell them to vote you, how you can say, how you think you can communicate to them
Okay.
to tell them to vote you as the next representative of the district.
Okay.
Mm.
I like to speak to all my voters in within district number 4.
Mhm.
I am coming with all the different things that I just named. I am coming to serve you. I believe in serving the people and not the people serving me. The one writer say power to the people. You
Mhm.
have to give power to the people. You don't take power unto yourself. So I'm coming to serve you. I'm appealing to you for your votes. I already know that you guys want to vote for me because you know that when I win, you know very well that you will benefit. It will not be something like I'm going to be eating your money or whatever. No. At this stage in life, I'm here to make sure that you get the right thing. That your voice will be heard through
Mhm.
my voice. Yes.
Okay,
So
so
your vote, your vote is your power, and your vote is what the gateway to your future.
Mm.
So remember it. No matter what the case
Okay,
is, it's not about you liking me. It's about what I can do for you. So I'm just saying to you that, and I like to speak. Can I speak my dialect in
yeah,
1 minute?
speaking. No, now in a few
Okay,
seconds, please. No
okay,
time. We need to go
okay.
the news.
I can speak the other ones, and I will speak.
The one you can
Ma,
speak.
Mamiya, ka toye,
Hmm.
ka leke, ka lo, ka dudo, jemamo, ko, wolokoli, le weka. Unwe bia ka le because na unwa district ya kwa bei ko ya ko ke ya kwa bei. So unu pia deka boka pie. So ya wo ke lo pia mo ke unu boka pie. So nge ga le ka pele se mami o ge mi o baso mi o sin sin twa mi o sin sin ka fo ke win ke ka yi ke ka gen. Lo pia mo dere ke dere se te to mo yi ma pele ko ma kinke. So nge ga le ka pele se ka fo ke ka ntra ke ka gen. Ka wo yi popo gen.
Okay,
So
now
unipekagen.
you said the
Mama
banana you
unipekagen te kamo. Miana miani la you confusing me now. Miani yeah, you gotta have the between that.
eh,
Miani la ominga be. Miani la man Barkley be. Miani la FD be. Miani la ya so clean be. Pack up in be. This is a community. Ekwa Zubatan o. Ekwa Dupolo. Kaka koya kalu wi
you can pay for
mama
airtime. Oh,
so ka munyi da kan ka lo mfo ke because ka yi da kan ma nu ya o ke me sense win aso mi o tun mi o gi o sense da un yan ka un po kan
so
pe ka sen ka le ka fo ke win
which dollar is
yes
that?
amano
Mano, okay. 077090907. We're
you
gonna
want me
take
to say what I said in English
no, no. The news is up next. 0770-907-907-907-907-080-907-907. We're gonna take just 4 calls. We're not gonna cross that because no time. The news is up next. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Let's hear you.
Yeah. Samuel calling from Depot Road, Coffee.
District 4.
Yeah, this is for
Go,
Coffee Depot Road,
go ahead.
Coffee.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, I want to question the lady issue there. Because Today she came to us that she wanted to be senator.
Mhm.
And then she told us that we should support another person. She now had an interest. So how will we trust her to vote her in the district? What she's done, what she's always there to back up from something that she said she wants to do.
Thank you. One very important issue. Hello.
Hello?
Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Let's hear you. Please go ahead quick.
Yes, thank you very much. I call from 8th Street, district number 8,
Mhm.
to be precise. But we are enjoying your studio guests. We are sitting and laughing and enjoying your studio guests.
Hey, go ahead now, brother.
Yes, I thank you that I will be able to support your candidate. She will be removing and winning that position that people are like a hosting. Thank you for that.
Okay, thank you. You ain't even this good easy. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Good evening. Let's hear you.
Yeah, my name is Ibrahim Sanjuma. I'm calling from district number 4.
Yes, let's hear you.
Yeah, what I want to say to our students out there, we also know that, more politicians will come
Mm.
to the day school. If they want the vote of the people, they will come very good to the people. But after they have gotten our vote, I don't know, they will turn their back to us. So I wish her success. I wish her at the parliament, but let her remain the person she is. Not at the future, then she change. So
Okay.
I wish her good luck and wish her at the 50th election later, come 2024.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. No time. Let me take. I don't want to take calls again. No time. We have 3 more minutes to the news. Yes. Go ahead. We're not taking calls again. We beg you. You listen. I think one question. They say you wanted to contest as senator in Montserrat County,
yeah
and at a particular time you changed. What did happen?
I had serious family problem and I had to rush to America.
Okay.
I had to really, really rush to America.
Mm.
And I spent like 8 months there before coming back.
Mm.
So when I came back, I apologized on Spoon TV
Mm.
to all my supporters, and I will apologize again.
Mm.
And I can promise you that will never happen again.
Mm.
I ask God for good health right now. I'm in good health.
Mm.
But something happened in America and I had to rush there. And I
Right.
spent 8 months there.
Mm.
So that was the problem. But
Okay.
I'm sorry for that. You don't feel bad this time. I'm going to be there by the grace of God.
Okay.
And now to Sa, I will not turn my back. My back. I'm sorry, I will not
Mm.
turn my back. I will be there for you. I promise you, faithfully.
Mm.
And to that guy who called for district number 8,
Mm.
if you got friends in district number 4,
For,
just call and your
yes.
family, your friends get in and say vote
Mhm.
for Jemama. Call.
What's your number?
Yes. I mean, I've been so busy this video
Okay,
with
you
my
not.
people in district number 4, so I
Mm.
will get a number
Okay.
and I will send it to you so you
Okay.
can announce it for me.
You pay.
Yeah, I will pay, no
You
problem.
pay.
I will pay. I
Yeah.
will pay.
Yeah. Thank you. So let's wrap up
So,
now. The news is up next.
so I just want to say
Mm.
to the Kisi people, I love you very much. You're also over there.
Mm.
So I just want to say, Aninu Kene, then to the 5 people that live in district number 4,
Mm.
and Yakuna,
Mm.
then to the Basa people that live over there,
Mm.
Nivle,
What about the dingo?
then to the Maningapo, but my mother,
Mm.
I said it last time in 2020. My mom, dad is from Guinea. I told you,
Yeah.
fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah, but talking now, talking
Yes,
too.
my mom, my mother, her name was Benu.
Mm.
Her dad is from Guinea,
Mm.
and her mother was from Lima. So you
So the
see, I
Mandingo
still got
own.
it. Oh, the Mandingo own
Mm.
so man. But my Mandingo is Mariam man.
Okay. Okay.
So and then we go to what the other tribe?
No, not calling now. No time now. No
Yeah,
time. The
man,
news
they
is
boy,
up there.
the news start up here. Oh. Just one more.
Eh,
Just one more.
eh,
Then to who now?
the Loma.
The Loman people.
Eh, eh,
The Loman people.
eh,
Y'all know I'm married to y'all.
eh,
But if I that your daughter yo,
mhm.
your father in Axel cleaning all over there, y'all will vote for your wife because I the hair wife.
Mm.
The mama called Wolokoli. Wolokoli mean the leper.
Mhm.
So I know y'all will vote for me, the Loman people. I got 2 Loman children, one in Seba
Mm.
and the other one in Seku.
Mhm.
Rodney Seku Wolokoli. So that when I ain't even talking, say I know y'all will vote for me too. Then the Pele people, y'all try. My dad could speak Pele. I can understand Pele, but I can't
Thank
speak
you.
it. So I want to say thank you to all my people.
Mm.
The other tribes I didn't name, but I love you guys. And I'm waiting for you. And I will do a great job. Y'all know me, I don't draw back.
Mhm.
And y'all know me, I don't draw back.
They fire
So,
me.
so y'all got a cool lawmaker that go in the house. Thank
Okay.
you very much. And good night to everybody. I love you guys.
Okay. Thank you. We need to go. She's